Yeah, I got you. Yep, I have you.
I don't want any picture.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Well, no, you don't have to have any. You know, it's yeah,
Ugh.
don't worry about the picture. The picture is fine. It's actually fine. But
Good.
not. Uh, but hey, what's wrong with the picture?
I don't know. Nothing. I don't know. Nothing. I don't know. I just don't like. I don't like looking at myself. Like I'm talking and looking at myself.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
distracting.
Oh, wait, why is it so distracting?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, I'm just not used to seeing myself like on like a camera.
Nah,
So
don't worry
I'm
about it.
looking to see what I look like, and the hair is a mess, and
Whatever. That's
all
that.
that,
No
all
big
that,
deal.
girly stuff.
Girly stuff, man. Oh, put on my makeup.
Right, that's right. Exactly.
They stay in the bathroom for hours just to put on makeup.
Yeah, right.
So,
Exactly.
so what is going on in Los Angeles, man? I talked about it a little bit
Right.
earlier today
Yeah.
with Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom says that it's a democracy.
They all say it. What is it with this democracy? We're not a democracy. I wish they would stop saying that.
Wait,
It's really annoying. It's just annoying at this point. They say it too much.
yeah,
And nowhere in the Constitution does it say that we are a democracy. We are not a democracy. There is a reason for that. I don't know if people understand why we're not a democracy. Like, do
yeah,
people understand why we're not a democracy? Like, what is? I don't understand. Like, do they read their Constitution? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No,
Um,
no.
but the reason why Trump, okay,
Yeah,
send out the 400 National Guards and the 700
yeah,
Marines
yeah,
is to protect the people and in the country. I'm saying to protect the people and to push back, the protesters, so that way, they're not going to loot or break or destroy anything.
Well, they did
Uh,
anyway.
well, they destroyed police cars. They did a lot of things over there in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it was overnight that they did that. I
Yeah,
didn't I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing because it was live all over the place,
yeah,
and yeah, I was shocked. Well, I was just wondering what was going to happen. I didn't think that it was going to get out of control.
yeah,
I mean, it got out of control. I was watching it on Sunday,
yeah,
and I saw this very small crowd. I was watching it because the National Guard at that point, the first 500 got deployed. So
yeah,
I wanted to see what was going on with that. And they were showing it. And then it was in the morning, but they're like 2, 3 hours behind the East Coast. So, but it was in the morning, I guess, sometime in the morning. And there wasn't really a lot of people out there. So
yeah.
I thought, oh, well, this is just a little crowd, and maybe this is going to be a big deal. But then I thought to myself, well, you know what? It's early still. And who knows if they're going to come out later on. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. They came
Well,
out little by little. It's the crowd just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, uh-oh. Now, then I'm like, something's going to happen now. Something, yeah. Then I
well,
realized that it was going to be a problem.
and now we have them coming out here to Somerset and Swansea. They got the King's Highway. They're gonna block off King's Highway.
Are they?
They're gonna block off King's Highway. Somerset and Swansea. Yep, and so over there, so the highway over there, and possible here in uh, in Fall River, okay, and New Bedford's going to get the worst of it. So
Are they?
yeah, New Bedford's going to get the worst of it. That's what CJ and Chip was saying.
Okay.
So New Bedford's going to get the worst of it. I mean, this is all because of the Trump administration, but Trump.
No, it's not because of them.
No, but ICE. I'm sorry, but ICE is their families were getting threatened. Okay, the families were getting threatened. They were getting threatened. So Trump had to call out the 400 National Guards and the 700 Marines. He had to do that. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, he had to because the mayor and the governor weren't doing anything.
no,
The mayor of Los Angeles did nothing to stop it. I
of
mean,
course
I
not.
don't know if you watched it on Sunday, but like I
Uh,
watched the whole thing and on this one particular channel. And
yeah.
it got to the point like I think late afternoon their time, the protesters cut off the freeway, like one of the main freeways in California. They stopped traffic.
Yes,
They
they
stopped
did.
it. It was like rush hour time. They
Yeah.
stopped it, and then the police came in. But you should have seen all the people that were up on the ramps, along the ramps, and along the bridges there.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Yeah. So there were a lot of people, and I started to get worried. I'm like, oh my God, the cops are outnumbered. The cops were outnumbered. At least that's what it looked like to me. I'm like, if these people are going to charge or do something to the cops, are they going to be able to defend themselves? And the mayor still didn't do anything about it, and the governor still didn't do anything about it. So President Trump said he had no choice, or actually Pete Hegseth said it too. It's like we had to deploy the National Guard because the mayor and the governor weren't doing anything.
They were just letting them. They were just letting them basically
Yeah,
do what they want.
right.
So, the only way, to protect ICE, to protect them, is to call out the National Guards and the 700 Marines that's already deployed over in Los Angeles, California.
Well, they're out there. I don't think the main reason that President Trump deployed them was
To protect.
for the safety of law enforcement. That was one of them. But the main reason, I think, was that they had to protect the federal buildings
Oh
where
yeah.
the ICE detention center is, because they arrested people that day.
Yep.
Okay, so those people, those rioters, wanted them out. So they had to protect that. At this point, the National Guard, any federal, any military at this point can only protect the federal buildings anywhere. Okay, so that's why they were deployed. That is the only reason that they can do that at this point. They cannot help law enforcement.
Because law enforcement was outnumbered at that point. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, when
Yeah,
you're out,
but they cannot do anything with law enforcement. That's illegal at this point. The only thing that the National Guard and the Marines can do, or anybody else, is to protect the federal buildings. That's it.
well,
Unless President Trump declares the Insurrection Act, then it's different.
then
Then it's different.
then he'll order them to arrest them. And
He's
take them
gonna.
into
They
custody.
can at that. If that happens, that means that the military can assist law enforcement, the police, like the LA police, or
Yeah.
wherever they are. So, but right now, it's just they're going to protect the federal buildings. That's it. They're not
Well,
going to get involved with the arrests. They can't. They can't. That has to be up to the LA police and the local police.
yeah.
National Guard is not getting involved in that. They can't. They can't. And the Marines neither. The Marines neither.
Well, I mean that it's. I mean also to protect the people. Well, the mayor of Los Angeles declared uh, was she declared a curfew in
Yes.
Los Angeles and certain areas
Yeah.
of Los Angeles.
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't listen. And they were out there.
Yeah, well, they're out there.
You really think illegals are illegals? You really think they're gonna start following now a curfew? Like, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, of course not. But I mean,
I don't
this is
think so.
this is why what I'm saying. Well, Trump. Well, Trump wanted these illegal aliens out of here. You know what I'm saying? But they're criminals.
He
Some of them
wanted
are
them out of
criminals.
there. The voter
Yeah,
wanted them out of there.
the
We want them
voters.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
we
course
want
we
them
did.
out. Yeah. So
It's
he's
the
doing
voters.
what he said he was going to do. And we're like, yeah, this is what we wanted you to do. I don't have a problem with it.
And
I don't have a
now
problem with it. I don't.
and now Governor Newsom,
Yeah.
he's term limited. Okay, he's term limited, and he's he doesn't well, let's put it this way: he kisses him and Maxine Waters. They kiss the
Yeah.
illegals' butt. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that's how that goes.
Well, they're saying that LA
Mm.
has 50% Latinos in that city.
Yeah,
50%.
50%. That's a lot.
50. Half of the population of LA is Latino. And I
Yeah.
don't know how many of those are illegals. I don't know. Like,
No,
I
I
don't
don't know either.
know about that. But there are, so these protests nationwide are happening on Saturday, but some places they're starting early, like you
Yeah.
mentioned,
Yeah.
Chicago, a couple of places in Texas, New York City. Chicago got really bad.
Yes, it did.
That got very bad.
Yeah.
And I went to go look at their website, and they have a map of where these protesters are going to be. And when I looked in Massachusetts, I did not see anything on the
No.
map saying that they're going to protest. But I'm finding it hard to believe
Yeah.
that
They
in
are. Trust me.
Boston, yeah, that in Boston they're not going to have it. They have to. They're going to celebrate in Boston Pride Month that day.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going to have that in Boston. But I'm sorry, those people are going to be there as well. They have to be. They have to be. They're going to be there.
They didn't even. CJ and Chip said that there's half of the stuff, et cetera, et cetera. They didn't put on. They didn't put on their website.
Exactly. No. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that it's on the local news, like they'll tell you when that's going to be happening, but it's not on the website. So I think they're trying to keep it quiet.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to keep it quiet.
We all know it's going to be on
Right.
Grand Army Highway. They're going to block up the Grand Army Highway, and
Right.
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's where the 114 Swansea bus goes by that way.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to do that all day long.
No, I don't know, something like 12 to 3 or something like that. They said they were going to do it. I think I heard CJ and Chip say 12 to 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think the times are different. I don't think they're all the same.
Yeah.
So, because in DC, what they said on the website about DC was that they are not planning a protest there. That's what they said. But then the
Yeah.
last, yeah, and the last paragraph said, but if you want to know about where the others are that are close to DC, you can contact them. I'm like, first you said you're not going to have anything, and now you're telling people where to go. So they want people to go to Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's their supposedly that's their main like area to meet instead of DC to go to Philadelphia. That's what they're asking people to do.
Yeah.
But they are going to have a protest in like Maryland, nearby. It's Flag Day on
Yep.
Saturday.
Flag Day. Yep.
And they're going to have the birthday for the Army. How can
Yeah.
they not be there?
Yeah. They're full of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How can you not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how not they going to be there inside of DC and stuff like that? Yeah. And they're only telling you that to throw you off. You know what I'm saying? That's all they're doing. You know what I'm saying? We know these protesters better than that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but when you think about it, right?
Yep.
If they're going to go to DC, which is stupid, maybe that's why they don't want people to go there. You've got the Army over there.
Yep.
The Army is there. Did you see the tanks? Oh my God. There's so many of them. These people are insane if they think they're going to take on the Army.
Yeah, they are insane. Now, that's a triple mental illness right there.
They have to be on something to think that they're going to go to DC and actually do something with the Army there. That is going to be the craziest thing like I've ever heard.
Yep. I mean, they're just whack jobs. That's all. I mean,
they sound like terrorists. You know how terrorists, when they go around and they take people hostages and they demand. Well, this is what they were yelling at in LA. They were demanding that ICE leave, that the National Guard leave, and to free the prisoners that were at the detention center.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, who do these people think that they are? Demanding all these things. And it's like, what do you think you're going to do? Like hold America hostage on Saturday and you're going to have these demands and like the president is just going to give it to you? Like, what are they thinking?
They're not thinking. The only thing, I mean, come on.
They're crazy.
There's a website up. I don't know, King something.
Yeah, NoKings.org.
NoKings.org.
No King. Yeah, I was reading that today. Oh my! I was doing a TikTok live and I was reading it and I was like laughing. That the English is just horrible.
Yep.
Okay, and they call this country a democracy and no kings, and it's like this country couldn't even try to have a king if they wanted to because the Constitution doesn't call for that.
Of course.
Okay, so these people don't even know what they're talking about. This is like propaganda. This is just all propaganda.
It is. It's all propaganda stuff.
It's like communism. It's like communism.
It is communism.
Yeah, it's just you're gonna have BLM out there. Did you hear them to free Palestine? They were yelling in LA. Free Palestine.
I heard it. I heard everything. I heard everything that was going on.
And they said that these illegals are on stolen land.
Stolen land. Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
There's been no civil war. There's no revolutionary war. They don't talk about things like that. It's stolen. No, it was fought for. The land was fought for. It wasn't stolen.
Yeah.
The Indians fought. The French fought. The British fought. The Spanish fought. And the colonists fought for the land.
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to have to do this now all over again? Are we going to have to fight for the land now again?
Yeah. Well, man, geez, we've been fighting for years, man, with these lands. Come on, man. But you think Donald Trump is going to leave office because they say so?
Right. I know.
He's not going to go anywhere. You know, he's
No,
not.
what was the chant that they were saying in LA? Um, no fascist KKK.
That's what they were saying.
Is that what it is? No fascist,
No fascist, no fascist KKK. That's what they were saying.
no fascist KKK. I forget what the first part was. KKK, no fascist in the USA, no king in the US, something like that. No
Yeah,
fascist in the USA.
that's what they were actually saying.
Yeah, and they kept saying it over and over and over,
Yeah,
and it's like,
like a broken,
and,
like a
yeah,
broken record.
yeah,
They're like a
and then
broken record.
they got the drums beating in the
Yeah.
background, boom, 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 and it's I couldn't listen to the next day. It's like I can't even listen to this anymore. All
And
the
and
noise.
and it, even when they start screaming and yelling, and you can't understand what they are saying. Okay, they got the
Right.
microphones, they're screaming, they're hollering. It's like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about?
What are
You know
you
what I'm saying?
saying?
What you're
Yeah.
saying.
I,
I mean,
yeah. Yeah. Last night I was listening to them and they were still, like we said before, the curfew, they were still
yeah,
out and their time at 8 p.m. after. And
yeah.
one woman was like yelling her lungs out. I,
Of
like you
course,
said, had no idea what she was saying.
me either.
No idea. And then the only thing I heard her say at the end was, hate me. If you're gonna hate me. And I'm like, what
There
the
you go.
hell is she talking about?
Yeah, it's,
What is she?
it,
It's like, what is it? Has nothing to do with hate.
it hasn't. No, it's not.
It's got nothing to do with love either. This is not the 60s where everybody has to get along and love everybody and, it
Yep.
doesn't matter whether you're an illegal or not. This is not what we're talking about over here.
Oh my
And
God.
then,
Yes, people.
and then the other part was President Trump. This
Yeah,
is all President Trump's fault. If he didn't bring in
it's
the
not.
national, none of this would be happening.
It's not
But
President Donald Trump's fault. That's the
no,
whole
but
thing.
but
Is
But you know what they don't talk about? The real issue is that you're here illegally. That's
that's right.
the
They don't
issue.
want to hear that. They don't want to hear that.
Right. That they don't say anything about. That you're here illegally. You're not supposed to be here. So you're putting the blame on President Trump, like the governor is,
Of
and you're
course.
putting you and hate, and you don't want in other words, and then they said there's no human being that's illegal. It's okay. Look,
No human being.
it's
No human
like
being
what?
is illegal.
What is the what? Oh my God! Why can't they just admit? You know what? You're right. We're here illegally. We shouldn't be here. Why don't you just self-deport?
Support yourself, man. Get yourself
Yeah,
and leave. Get out of here.
leave.
You know what I'm saying? But this was all this was all the former administration, Joe Biden. Remember when he had when he had
Open border policy.
the open border policy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's all his fault. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and now here we go. They're blaming Donald Trump
Yeah.
for this. When it
Yeah.
was Biden's fault, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Biden's the one
Then
that had
that
these
they
open
don't talk
policies.
about. That's the other thing that they don't say
No, they don't
is
say it.
that Biden created this mess.
No,
He did this. The Democrats did this. And then
they
you have
created it.
then you have sanctuary cities and states like California, Boston, Massachusetts, Chicago,
Yep.
maybe, whatever, whoever they are, right? You got all those places that are sanctuary cities and states. I mean, these are the Democrats that are doing this.
Of
These
course.
are the Democrats that are doing this.
Democracy.
What's it got to
Oh,
do
God.
with what's it got to do with President Trump? But you see how they try to distract from the
Yep.
real issue. They distract it, and they're trying to push this narrative And it's not working. When they say no one is illegal, they're saying that no country should be allowed to write and implement right. That's
when
right.
they say no one is legal, but they say
Right.
that no country should be allowed to protect
That's it.
its
Right.
and implement
Yep.
rules for immigration.
Right. And that they're lawless.
Yep.
These people are lawless. They don't
Yeah.
follow the law. And because, the probably the services, are being
Yeah.
taken away from them, I think they're
Mhm.
taking a fit about that. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Good.
right.
Good.
What? I mean,
Why should
I,
we? Why
yeah,
should we support these illegal aliens that are in this country, okay, and
yeah,
giving them welfare checks, giving them food stamps, giving them all
right,
kinds of money
yeah,
when we have a problem in our own state? You know what I'm saying?
right,
With
yeah.
homeless and crime and, and,
Hmm.
and crime. So we have a problem over here, and
Right,
here they are giving them all kinds of money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
right.
You're supporting people that don't even belong in this country. Get the hell out.
Yeah, well, since the blue states, for the most part, and the liberal cities don't do that, they're never going to get rid of them unless they're forced to, unless ICE is just going to keep doing what they're doing and
That's right.
arresting they just arrested some more people at a business. I forget where. I
They
don't know if
did.
it was it Nebraska or the Midwest? I
I,
forget where.
it, I heard something like the Midwest. So I think it was at the
So
Midwest.
yeah, so they arrested the illegals that were working in this business. The businesses should be fined as well for hiring these illegals and probably paying them under the table so that the businesses don't have to pay taxes. That's tax evasion.
Yeah.
And they're going to get charged as well for probably tax evasion and other things. They're taking jobs away from Americans.
That's what they're doing. These
The
illegal aliens.
illegals, the illegals are taking the jobs away and paying them lower wages, and they're paying them under the table.
That's right. Yeah.
And
And
that has to stop.
yeah.
That has to stop. And they need to get arrested, and the businesses that are doing this need to be charged as well.
Oh, Linda just wrote something. By
My
Anderson. Go ahead, read it. Go
my
ahead.
Anderson great great grandparents from Ontario weren't handed a red cent when they came to America. Mine either. They had to have money, a job, and a place to live. Could not be a burden on the public purse. Yeah, exactly. But when you come, like when my father came to this country, legally, you had to have a sponsor. When you come into the country the right way, you have to have a sponsor. So his uncles were already here, like in this country. They were already in this country. So I don't know for sure, but I'm just logically thinking that they were the sponsors for my father and his family, meaning mother, father, brothers, and sisters.
Yeah.
So when they came inside, when there's a sponsor, and if any of them done anything wrong, they
Yeah.
know where to go because that sponsor is responsible for them.
Yeah.
So they have a place to live, to stay. They know where they are because the sponsor, that's where they live. That's how you do it legally. So you do it legally.
Yeah, so they have to have a place to live. If you're going to sponsor, yeah, they have to have a place to live.
Yeah, you got to
And
live with your sponsor. You got to
yeah,
for the where are they going to go? You don't have any money, so you
and
stay
now,
with your sponsor, which is usually a family member. right?
Yep.
You stay with them, and then they get on their feet, and that's what happened with my father. Got on his feet, and found a job and bought a duplex, and that's it. That's what happened. That's how it goes.
Yes, it
Like
does.
that's how it works.
Yep, that does. That's how it goes. It's right. No, I agree with you. You know.
Yeah,
Well,
and these people that come in here illegally, and not just the illegals, but people that are so used to getting handouts from the government is another problem. That is
yeah,
another problem. And the illegals were told, I believe that they were told that if they stayed here long enough, that they were not going to get deported. That's what they've been told.
yeah. Well, they've been told a lie.
Right. And they're finding that out. And they're
Yep.
finding that out. So I don't feel bad for them. Um, I just don't. I just don't. You don't do that. You just don't
No.
invade a country for whatever reason that it could be. I mean, they have to pay along the way if they're coming from America, and they have to cross rivers and they have to walk up to get to the Mexican border into the U.S. They have to pay people to move them from one spot to another.
Yep.
And that's usually the cartels that are
Yeah.
doing that.
Well, then I heard that these protesters are getting sponsored by the GOP. The GOP is sponsoring them.
No, I don't think so.
No.
No. And my
And
paternal great 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 grandfather from Yorkshire made his living as a farmer in Pennsylvania. Yes, no handouts. Yeah,
no
that was
handout.
like my family were in Europe at that point. So we didn't have any farmers here. They When my father came over and his
Yeah.
family, they had the manufacturing jobs at that point. There were
Yeah.
manufacturing businesses all over the place in Massachusetts. So
Well,
uh, they they did not farm. They
I
didn't. They
remember.
didn't.
I remember my I remember my grandmother, my father's mother, my grandmother, and my aunt Amy, which is she used to live up on Plymouth Avenue, and my grandmother used to live on Franklin Street when they were when they were alive, and they used to walk to work together all the time, from six to 10 o'clock at night. They used to
Wow.
work for the union factory where they made curtains, and where they made curtains all the time. And my dad used to work for before he passed away. He used to work for uh, Seal Sack. He used to get like $2 an hour. Okay, $2 an hour, and and then he ended up getting another dollar raise, so it was like $3 an hour at that point. So I mean, minimum wage at that time wasn't any good. So
Was that a manufacturing facility?
uh, well, I think it was my father said it was a manufacturing seal set company. I mean, I don't know exactly what he didn't say exactly what
What
they
it
did there,
was?
but yeah, what it
Okay.
was, but he just told me that he used to work for them a
Well, I
while back.
mean, when the immigrants like Linda's family goes way back. I don't know if they had any vetting processes at that time because now they do. Um, but they came here to farm. That's
Yes, they
all
did.
they could do. That's all there was to do. There was nothing else to do.
Yeah,
You had to do that. And then eventually things changed. And when my father got here, it was different.
yeah,
There was manufacturing. And and that was a good thing because they were not proficient in English. So working in a manufacturing facility was good because they didn't have to worry about their language skills.
yeah.
Now though, it's not. It's all different.
It's all different. Now we have to worry about language skills now, you
That's
know?
right. So you have to, if they're in retail, a lot of them are in retail, Burger King, McDonald's, all those places. I mean, you have to have some kind of basic understanding and knowledge of just having a basic conversation. But sometimes they can't even do that because they don't understand English.
No, they don't.
So what's the point? Like, why are you hiring people
That
that
don't
can't?
understand English.
Yeah, like they can't converse with the customer. Like I wouldn't like that.
No.
I wouldn't like that at all.
I mean,
It's
most of these stores that you go to, like Walmart,
yeah, right.
CVS, some, not all, but most of them you
Yeah.
go to, and sometimes you run into them. It's like, okay,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
you're going there to go pick up your medication. It's like,
Yeah.
and they're looking at you, and they're trying to speak English to you, but they
Right.
can't. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But and you
I
got to
just
tell them about 10, 20 times. I'm here
right.
to pick up my medication.
Right.
Should I write it? Should I write it in English for you? So that we
Yeah. Right.
oh, sorry. Yeah. So I'm
They're not
sorry.
gonna.
I'm sorry. You
Well,
don't understand.
when I was in, see, that's frustrating to me. Like, I would not, for me, it's like I'm not coming back here because they don't even know what I'm saying. So what's the point? The only charity during that time came from family and the private sector. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the way it was.
But it's not
And
like
we
that
were
now.
fine. And we were fine. There was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's the government that came in and ruined it all.
The government likes to come in and make changes all the way around. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
like to do all kinds of changes. You know what I'm saying? And which is not right for them to do it.
And not for the good either. Dave, do you remember the day we went to McDonald's and not a single one of them spoke English?
Yeah. Yeah, we did. We went to McDonald's, and we went to McDonald's one time, and none of them spoke not one bit of English over there. And here I am, it was so frustrating. Okay, it was
It
okay
would drive me
trying
nuts.
trying to say, hey, um, where's my order? And they're looking at you like, they don't know what to say to you. I'm like, okay, I got so frustrated. I
Fed
went to go
up.
sit back. I went to go sit back down. I had to because
One time I went to the Walmart in Lynn,
yeah,
and I, I'm not used to dealing with people that don't understand English. They got our order wrong too.
they did. Yeah, they got our order wrong over at McDonald's. Come on, man. What is wrong with you people? I
That's a
mean, come on.
shocker.
Yeah, I'm like, oh God, they got my order wrong at McDonald's. I'm like, I'm like,
I can't. I can't do it. I
no.
cannot do that. It would drive me nuts. I can't. When
I'm
I
like, come
went
on.
to Lynn um, at their Walmart, and I'm walking inside. Now I'm already aggravated, and
Yep.
it's like, oh my God, I know I'm gonna come across somebody that doesn't understand and speak English. I know it already. I know it. What am I doing here? Why am I here? Why do I put myself in this? Okay. So I was like, I hope I don't need anybody. I hope I don't need anything. So I have to ask them because they don't know what you're saying. And it's like, oh my God. So I'm walking around. I forget. I was looking for something. And all of a sudden, I start paying attention to the music,
Yeah.
and it's Spanish.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? This music is horrible.
Yeah.
It was all and I went to the manager or somebody
Yeah.
and I said, "Look, we're in the United States and I don't know about you, but I really don't like this music And
Yeah.
you should be putting on music where they're speaking English, not
uh,
Spanish all the time.
I
Yeah.
mean, if you want to learn, if you really want to learn English, okay, why don't you talk to somebody that does speak English so that way you can learn? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I mean, we would be
Why?
glad to teach them.
Yeah, but why do these companies like Walmart hire
Yeah,
them? I mean, they
because
hire them.
for low wages.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I think
gosh.
it's yeah for low rate wages.
It's by law. I think in Massachusetts, it's by law that they have to pay them minimum wage.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I,
so they can't change the price. They're going to pay them minimum wage, whatever that is in Massachusetts. I don't know. I forgot what it is, but essential issue.
yeah. Well, um, but today, Linda and I, okay, we were on a bus, okay,
Oh
and
God.
somebody we, we were talking about ice, okay,
Yeah,
but somebody rang the bell.
yeah,
Somebody rang the bell, and so Jefferson Street, okay, we were on the 110 coming home. So Jefferson Street, okay, that Jefferson Street didn't have a bus stop over there. So I says, well, you can't, you cannot, you. The bus driver told her, look, hey, I'm going by what my GPS is telling me. You know what I'm saying? The nearest bus stop is in where McDonald's is going towards Walmart. So I told her, and me and the bus driver, we were talking about there's no bus stop over here on Jefferson Street, and then so then the girl, the other girl on the bus, she called
yeah.
me a racist for no reason.
What?
She called me a racist, and I told her, I says, I ain't racist at all. Okay, and so Linda says something. Linda says my husband is not racist at all. Okay, which is I'm not. I have um, I have um, grandchildren that are different color. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I have
Well, why
grandchildren.
did she say that?
I don't know. That's that because the other girl was kind of mad. The other girl was kind of mad
About what?
because she couldn't get off over there because but
Oh,
that so there wasn't no bus stop over there in Jefferson Street. I know because I
yeah. Do
take
you
the bus
see?
all the time.
You see the lawlessness, though.
Yeah,
This is in the category of lawlessness. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. Who cares that there's no bus stop there? I want to get off there. I want to get off there. She told me to shut up. See? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
This is how it's gotten now. Were they young?
Kind of big.
Were they
Yeah,
on the younger side?
yeah. But
Yeah.
they think
They're
okay.
entitled. They're entitled.
Yeah, they think that we're gonna shut up from them. No, I don't even know where these people are getting this ideology from. Okay, I don't even know. I mean, what is wrong with
This
these
is
people?
well, they think this is how the BLMers used to think. This is how BLM was like
Yeah,
5 years ago. I was doing the
I
standouts. They were
remember that. Yep.
yeah, and in LA they were chanting the same thing. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets.
Yeah.
So BLM, when we were doing the standouts, they would say the same thing.
Yeah.
They would say that the streets belonged to them.
Yeah.
That the monument that was in Swampscott belonged to them.
No.
No, but that's their mentality.
Hmm.
And so that's what you've got like in these liberal cities and states. You have that mentality that the streets are mine and you're gonna have to do what I tell you to do, like what they're doing
Okay.
in LA with you. The National Guard has to leave, ICE has to leave. You gotta release the prisoners. You know, people back in the day wouldn't be able to do this. Yes, this country's screwed, and it's gonna be hard to control it. Yes, that's right. Back in the day, these things didn't happen. So something went out of control someplace, and I don't know where. I don't know. I don't know. I never grew up like this. I never seen BLM ever in my life until 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
I didn't come in contact with any of these type of people. We did not live in that kind of environment. People worked, they minded their own business, they went to school. I mean,
Of
I don't
course.
know. There was nothing else. I think that Jefferson Brown stop applies only to the tripper buses,
Yep.
those reserved for high school, because those buses still follow the old route. Oh, well, I mean, that doesn't even, that's very confusing. That's just very confusing.
Yep.
Uh, so I don't know. I didn't grow up like that guy said. I think Eric. I don't know where
Oh,
this is from. With this
Linda,
entitlement.
she says just Google it. Google Map.
Checked Google Maps for what? What did she check Google Maps for?
For
Oh,
what?
it's in the bus stops.
Yeah, for the stops.
Again, where does this entitlement come from? And the mouse, and like even in LA, F
Yeah.
ICE, F
Yeah.
Trump. Yeah, it's like all these, great show, Dave. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Uh, so, they were saying all these things, and it very classless. They don't make any sense. They're not even peaceful. If they
No.
were peaceful, I mean, people would listen. But even though you're still here illegally and you shouldn't be here. So I mean, I just don't understand this, this entitlement. I mean, it's in the liberal cities and states for the
Yeah.
most part. I think that might be because the government is on their side. It's like a welfare state.
Yeah.
They get benefits from the Democrat Party, and they feel as though they get what they want from them, so they feel entitled that whatever you say, they say you're going to do because that's what the Democrats do. They give them what they want practically. How dare you not do as I demand?
And
That's racist.
races
Pick your
and
victim.
sexes and picking victim cards. That's
Yeah, no,
the thing.
that's true though. That's exactly what it is. How dare you not do as I demand? It's
Yeah.
demanding. They are, even in and I'm sure it's going to happen in Chicago and every place else.
Mhm.
ICE has to go. National Guard has to go. We
Marines
don't,
have to go.
huh?
The Marines have to go too.
Yeah, we don't want deportations. Trump has to go. Death to America. I'm like, what? What
Yeah.
are you doing here?
Debt to America. These people are sick. Okay.
Yeah, like, what are you doing here? You're complaining and you're protesting that you want to stay in this country because you're illegal and you think you have the right to, which you don't. But then on the graffiti in LA, death to America, F Trump, and then they're waving the Mexican flags.
Oh my good
Doesn't make
Lord.
any sense to anybody because it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm watching this. I'm like, what? It was like, it looked like an invasion. Okay,
That's what they
because
did. Yeah.
it doesn't make sense that you have people out in the streets protesting violently at some point, even violently, that they want, like, I'm thinking that they're protesting because they want to stay in this country, but yet they're waving all these foreign flags, mostly Mexican ones,
Yeah.
and then they've got this graffiti, like I said, and then they're shouting to free the detainees that were in the ICE detention center, and it's like, what is it with, what the hell do you want? You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
what is your problem here?
They have a they have
So
a
that's,
mental illness.
well, but that's why I call it like an invasion, and I think the Insurrection Act should be declared by President Trump, because this, to me, doesn't look like a peaceful protest. It's not. This is not what it is. Do you remember the harpy on the intercity bus who expected me to hand over bracelets? Oh my God! I had worked hard to compensate her being late to work just because the driver was kind enough to circle back to the UMD campus center to let me retrieve them. She insisted that the driver was treating me special because of my color. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, that I was actually on the bus when that happened. My Linda left her
I mean,
bracelet.
that to me, see, what you guys go through, and I don't know if everybody goes through, but what you're going through, but
We go
because,
through it.
huh?
We go through it. Believe me, we do.
Yeah, and because I know you two, and I know you guys take the public transportation. But to me, what happens with you two specifically, it sounds like harassment.
Yes, it is.
At this point, it's harassment. When if things are being said to you and you're being like a target practically on a daily basis, I think you're being harassed now.
Yep.
I think you're being harassed.
And they will harass you. You know what I'm saying? And they will. They'll harass you.
And,
Um,
and, and um and I know a lot of people get all worked up because they have to go to the police station, but I would go to the police and say, this happened this day, this happened that day, and they said this and they said that. And then they're going to tell you what to do.
yeah.
When it happens on a continuous basis,
Yeah.
you have to stop it somehow. You have to stop it.
Well, you see here, these pop-ups are interfering with me watching the video.
What pop-ups?
Yeah, I don't know. His
On
pop-ups.
Facebook?
I don't know. Yeah. Let me see. What else is going on? Buses
Buses?
are not
Yeah.
safe anymore. Nope, they're
No,
not.
it doesn't sound like it. I remember taking the bus. I never had any of that. I never had those issues. I never had to worry about going on the bus and somebody harassing me. I never
Yeah.
had to, or even the subway, taking it into Boston. I didn't have to like worry about any of those things.
I told Linda that I'm gonna get in September. I'm gonna get an e-bike. You know what I'm saying? So that way I can ride it to work. You know what I'm saying? So that way I don't have to deal with only take a bus when she does. You know what I'm saying?
Or
Um,
the weather. Yeah.
yeah, and yeah. So well, because the weather is like really nice. So
Now it's
I'm
nice. Yeah, you can do
I'm,
that.
I'm gonna get myself an e-bike, and and I'm going to ride it to work because the weather's nice. The weather will be nice for a little while. You know what I'm saying? But during
Yeah,
the rain,
and this is all, these buses and this public transportation, that is all being done by the taxpayer money. And now you can't even use that. Like, what's the taxpayer money going to right now? Because it's not going to servicing the people that are actually paying the taxes. It's going to everybody else but the taxpayer. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all let go, Dave. Me and you will go down there and throw people around.
oh God,
You need a bodyguard, Dave. You need a bodyguard.
And I think I'm that.
Back in the
I
days to
did.
leave your door open and not have to worry about anyone. Yes. I remember
No.
though, it was nice those days, you know? You didn't have
Yeah.
to worry about all this stuff that's going on right now. It's out of control right now. True, Eric. Now it's around my house. Cameras, yes. Right. Everybody's got that doorbell, you know, because you can see
Yeah.
there's no
Doorbell
privacy
cameras.
anymore. There's no
No, no more
privacy.
privacy. Nope.
No, there's no privacy. They have
Oh,
cameras in public as well.
well,
I
they
mean,
got if you come down to Fall River, well, which is you probably already been down here,
I've been
already,
on it once. Yeah.
and multiple times. Fall River, if you go down Pleasant Street, you'll see cameras. There's a camera on
Yeah.
the left side, but if you go all the way down, soon as you hit downtown, there's a camera. There's a camera right on the corner of Prospect Street downtown. So there's a camera
Yeah,
there.
the government's using the cameras, businesses have cameras, homes
Yeah.
have cameras, your computer, your phone. Where is the privacy?
I have a body cam. I wear it.
You know?
Yeah, there's
I
no
mean,
more
oh
privacy
my
no more.
God.
No, no more privacy.
No, there
No.
isn't.
No,
Did you
why?
watch huh?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Did you watch that movie, 1984? You have to watch that movie.
I gotta watch it. Yeah, yeah.
You
1984.
can watch it. You can watch it on YouTube for free.
Oh, I got Netflix. I pay for.
Yeah, and you should go watch it. I was just like my mouth was on the floor. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I'm like, holy cow! This is like what's going on right now. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
And it's done a
1984.
while ago.
Yeah,
I was like, I couldn't.
1984.
I was just like floored with that movie.
No,
I was floored. I was
yeah.
floored.
I'm gonna watch it though. Matter of fact, later I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, you gotta
Um,
watch. I don't think it's that long, but I don't know how long it is. I don't know how long the movie is, but I was glued to it.
yeah,
Glued.
1984.
I was glued. I was like, oh my god, how did they come up with this such a long time ago? And
Yeah,
it's happening now. A lot of it
yeah,
is happening now.
yeah,
So yeah, well, you know, it was like I said, growing up for me was not what it is right now. It's totally different, right? Even in Swampscott, it's the same thing.
yeah,
It's the same thing. People feel as though they have the right to say whatever they want. And you have to listen to them. You have to give it to them. They're entitled, like what happened on the bus. This is the norm in the liberal states and
yeah,
cities. Like this is like the norm that is going on,
yeah,
and it's you know, like people like us and others that grew up in a time where you didn't even hear these things.
yeah,
It's like you never had to deal with people being rude.
yeah,
They knew where to draw the line. Well, you know, you don't
yeah.
say this. You don't. Now it's like, who cares? I don't care what you say, think. I'm gonna say whatever I want, and by golly, you're gonna do it. Minority Report? No. Is that a movie?
I don't even know. Minority. Did you even watch the Minority Report? I have. She had watched it.
I don't know. What's that about? What's that about?
I don't know. I'm gonna ask her.
I've heard about it, but I don't know what it is. I didn't. I don't know what it is. There's so much crap going on,
Yeah.
and it's not even good stuff. It's not even good. Did you see now that Elon Musk
Yeah.
apologized? What?
Apologizing.
What the hell is wrong? This guy is another schizo.
Yeah, he apologized to Donald Trump because he knew that he knew that he was wrong for what he said or
Yeah,
did to
I
him.
know, but I mean, why? He's this guy is a very, very smart man.
Yeah,
He knew what he was saying. He knew what he was doing. Why did he say it in the first place? And now he's backtracking. What
yeah,
is, there's got to be, I'm sorry, but I just can't help but think that this is some kind of ploy.
yeah,
I can't, because I don't, he can't, he's not that stupid. He's not that
yeah.
stupid. I'm sorry.
No, Elon Musk is smart.
Yeah. He's not that dumb. So I don't know why he's doing that. I'm just very, it's like I don't trust him anymore practically.
No, I don't trust him either anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because
So I mean, I don't know. I don't understand people. Sometimes they're spoiled.
yeah,
Like it's like a spoiled brat. You didn't
uh,
do. You didn't cut what I wanted you to do. Sounds like that girl on the bus. You didn't do what I told you to do, and now I am going to call you names
yeah,
because you didn't do what I expected you to do, and you said you were going to do. It's like, how old are you?
yeah, right. Yeah. How old are you? Come on, Elon.
He's
Yeah,
another one that
yeah.
sounds like he's entitled too. That's another one.
No, he's a billionaire. That's why
Uh,
he makes robots.
yeah, I know he's a billionaire. I think he's the richest man in the world now at this point,
Yeah,
and he's got tons of ideas, and they're good
yeah.
ideas, and he wants to help out humanity, which is good, and that's a great trait to have
To help out humanity. Yeah,
since he's that intelligent. But my God, what is wrong with you going after the president?
yeah.
Jeez.
The president is the one that gave you the job. You know what I'm saying,
Right.
to help you, and there you are now going after the president.
He just sounds ungrateful. And President Trump said that when asked if they were going to reconcile, he's like, I think the press secretary said, "Oh, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing for the country." So I don't think they're interested in 2054.
Yeah,
Ooh, crime is
88
virtually
crimes.
eliminated from Washington thanks to an elite law enforcement squad pre-crime. They use three gifted humans called precogs with special powers to see into the future and predict crimes beforehand. Wow. John Anderton heads pre-crime and believes the system's flawlessness steadfastly. However, one day the precogs predict that Anderton will commit a murder himself in the next 36 hours. Worse, Anderton doesn't even know the victim. He decides to get, that's a movie.
That's a movie. Yep, that's what
Sounds
she's
like a
talking about.
movie.
Yep,
The
that's what a movie
Minority Report.
is.
That sounds interesting. You
I
know
gotta
which
watch that.
movie? You know which movie I liked that
Yeah.
when it came out and I was fascinated by it was RoboCop.
Oh, RoboCop. Yeah, I like RoboCop. You know, RoboCop. I always
I
watch that.
I loved that movie. I remember going to the theater and watching like, oh my God, that's such a great idea. Having cops as robots.
Yeah, that was fascinating when I was watching it.
Yeah,
When
it was. But wasn't RoboCop a real person that they changed
I,
into
I,
a robot?
I, okay, RoboCop was a real person. Okay, Murphy.
Yeah,
He was a real person,
yeah.
and
He got shot.
he got shot, and
Yeah,
so what happened was they took his body, okay, and they brought it back, and
yes,
they made this robot uniform.
right.
Okay, they made the robot uniform, and they used his body to put
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
robot uniform, and
And the
now
brain too, right?
and the brain. Yes,
And they put the robot
yeah,
in, but then he remembers that he's not a robot
yes, he did. Yep,
at some
they
point.
they
Yeah,
computerized him
right.
to to say, uh,
Yeah.
I am
Right.
Murphy, but I am a RoboCop.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so
He
what they
was
did, what, yeah,
he was like Superman of the city because he would go around taking care of all the crimes. They
yes,
would
he was.
call if the cops couldn't deal with it, they would call RoboCop,
Yes, and he,
and he would be the hero, and he would be the hero.
yep, and the commissioner was also behind all the
Yeah.
crimes, and
Yeah. Yeah.
he had made a robot himself,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which is to go up against Murphy.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because there was RoboCop and RoboCop 2, right?
Yes.
And then it stopped there.
Then it stopped right there,
Oh,
and
I wish
and
they continue with that.
and then later, I think they were supposed to make a movie because the Murphy's partner got shot. I think they were supposed to uh, make her as
Oh,
a
okay.
robot too. So I mean,
Oh, I wish they did. I would love to see that.
that
That I
that was the,
thought that when that came out, I thought that was so cool.
yeah, that
And
was an
now
interesting movie.
it's really happening.
Yeah,
But because Elon Musk he is making robots, and these AI intelligence that they're using now are going to start taking away some of the people's jobs, and they're going
yeah.
to be replaced by these robots at some point. I think at some point that's going to happen. Um, and he does have robots. He is
Yes.
making robots, but they are not in the police force
No.
right now. They're not. They're not. I mean, like what's going on? Like in Fall River, you have the issue with the fire department. Like they're not getting the money
Yeah.
that they need, right? To
The fire department. We how was I explaining it before? Well, since you bring it up, I will talk about it. The
yeah,
fire department is if you go inside, like Former Reporter did, okay.
yeah,
If you
yeah,
go inside and you can see the ceilings. The ceilings
yeah.
are all lead paint. Okay, the
Oh,
ceilings are falling, peeling off all over the place. The gym equipment is no good. What else? The windows are basically falling out. Okay,
right.
and and the fire department they cannot work in that kind of condition. You know what I'm saying? They cannot work. So the union, Jason Burns, the president of the fire department, it was always fighting to get money. Okay,
Yeah.
and every time they fight to get money, the mayor or the city council they assume to deny public safety, especially the fire department. Okay, they and plus they need updated equipment. They cannot work in that kind of condition. Okay, they can't. Okay, they can't at all. Those
Da-
conditions, yes,
Can you imagine? Just imagine this for a second. RoboCop was like half human, half robot. Well, that's that. I don't think that's going to happen. Not in our lifetime, anyway. But
no,
so you have now just robots, right?
yes.
They're building now robots. I know Elon Musk. He's building these robots.
I have one.
Yeah, you you got your cardboard one. That's hysterical. And
And
so can you imagine, like in the movie, they had the cop as a robot and a human, and that's where they bring in universal basic income and frontal liberty. Yeah, look, I bet you if they can come up with RoboCop and they're making the robots right now, can you imagine having a fire department
yeah, go ahead.
with robots?
Yep, I can imagine.
City budgets for X number of fire costs, but only hires Y. Yeah, and I bet because maybe if it gets to that point where there's so much corruption that the fire department's not going to be able to do their job because they're not getting the money that they need. And the police, not as bad maybe, but they have issues as well. When when it starts getting worse, because in Swampscott they had the same problem. The police department had the same problem. Antiquated building and all that. And then they moved the police department someplace else, and they have a new facility now. Okay.
Yeah.
And but can you imagine when it gets to the point where, like in Fall River and other places too, where people are going to complain, the fire department's complaining, but the mayor and everybody else, city council, everything is just going in one ear and out the other. They're not listening.
No, they're not.
They're not listening. Okay. The Swampscott's the same.
Yeah.
They're not listening. They're not listening. These people talk about entitlement. They're tyrants. You gotta do what they want to do. So imagine you have a budget where there's no money for the fire department, like none. It could disappear. Just say, oh my God, how are we going to pay the fire department? And they're going to quit. People are probably going to quit because they're not going to be getting paid. They're not in good working conditions and all that stuff. And they're like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I'm out.
Why am I here?
Right. And then in comes somebody like Elon Musk and says, maybe we can, instead of paying a salary to people that are going to put out fires, how about we have robots? How about we have somebody that has a remote control that when there's a fire, they can open up the hydrogen pump and put it out, sort of, you know what I mean? They're going to come up with something like that.
Yeah.
And then you're not going to have to pay the firefighter. And it's going to happen to the police too at some point. President Trump was at Fort Bragg. What was it, yesterday? He was doing a speech.
Yeah,
They were showing the the exercises that they're doing, but somebody showed the drones. The drones now are being used in a war, like the Ukraine and Russia. They're using drones. Yeah. Ukraine are using drones to fight. All right. So there was a competition between the Army drone and just a regular drone, and the Army, we have investigated ourselves and turned out there has been no wrongdoing. Okay. About what? I'm confused.
Yeah.
So the drone, they were actually competing with each other, the drones.
Yeah.
This is like where we're heading now. We're heading to, what is this? Hello, everyone was suffering from cancer for years now. And I was told by my doctor that there's no possible cure. And I knew I had limited time on planet Earth due to the way the doctor talked to me. I saw a comment of Dr. Solo. Also, I saw a lot of testimony about him on how to use herbal medicine. Yeah, I contacted and told him my problems. He sent me there and I took 3 days, which was 2 weeks. After then, I went for a checkup and I was... What has this got to do with what we're talking about?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean,
So can you imagine? But Elon Musk is doing neurological work, like figuring out how paralyzed people can walk, and he's doing research on how blind people can see again. So maybe he's going to come up, with something with the C word. I don't want to say so. Corruption in government, that's what. Yeah, but can you imagine if the corruption gets so bad that, we can't trust people to do the work anymore because of the money that's, who knows where it's going. It's unaccounted for. There's no accountability for it. Nobody knows where it goes. They know how to hide it. They got friends in high places and nothing happens.
Well, just like just like Mayor Paul Coogan got friends in high places, his rich friends, and
Right.
saying,
Yeah.
well,
But can
oh, go
you
ahead.
just go, but can you just imagine like getting rid of that? Getting rid of the mayor and the city council and everybody else because they can't be trusted at this point, right? They're all practically all of them are corrupt.
How can we trust them with our money? You know what I'm saying?
That's
Our
what I
finance.
mean.
You know
So,
what I'm saying?
and I'm the same way. Like in Swampscott, the trust for me, and I never really trusted them anyway, but now it's worse. I don't trust them anymore. So I think another system has to be put in place here. And I would love, I don't know, right now, I would love to see the private sector take over, like have some company, a business, or several businesses like run Fall River rather than have the government, rather than have a government. Probably
There's
got
probably
multiple.
copyright.
Who? Coogan? Paul Coogan? Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe, or maybe that other guy there probably has multiple women.
Oh, the cancer thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah,
I don't know if he was trying to sell something. Might have been trying to sell something like the.
yeah. I don't. You can't sell anything on my show. So
So can you imagine? I would love to see. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go because, like I said, Swampscott's the same, and there's a lot of corruption going on, even on the state level. Mara Healy and Michelle Wu and all those people. Um, I would love to see the government crumble, the
yeah,
public sector crumble, and have the private sector take over, like what Elon Musk did with Doge, right?
yeah,
So he came into the government. He was a special employee, so to speak. He
yeah,
wasn't getting paid. He wasn't getting paid. He doesn't need the money. So he did a service, and that
yeah,
Doge is still going on. Okay. He's in the private sector. So can you imagine having somebody like Elon Musk run the city of Fall River, for instance,
yeah.
and having no mayor, no city council? He slashes the budget, gets rid of all the people that you don't need, and you don't have to spend, more taxes and more money coming out of people's pockets,
Agreed.
and just have whoever
Yeah.
run it, just a few people, but in the private sector, not the public sector, the private sector.
Well, the problem is with Mayor Paul Coogan. Okay, with him, he likes to give raises. Okay, all the
Right.
time. He
They
does.
all
He
do.
likes to give raises all the time to his employees.
Yep.
And even when we don't have any money, he'll still give raises. I mean, look what he did.
They
Uh,
find it. They find it somehow. They find
yeah,
it
they
somehow.
find it. Yeah, and now, 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 when I was listening to CJ and Chip talk
Yeah.
on Spencer City Straight Talk,
Yeah.
they said that the city is broke. We have no money whatsoever.
Yeah.
So how are they coming up with money
With
to
this
fix
money.
the roads?
Right.
Okay, like
Well,
some
they're
preach.
getting it. I would say that they're either probably getting it from the state.
Yeah,
They must be getting it. If Fall River is broke, then they must be getting the money from Mara Healy. They're getting from Mara Healy.
yeah, they're probably
They
getting money
have to.
from her.
They
So
have
they
to be.
have to, of course. I mean, how can
So
they afford to fix the roads?
yeah, exactly. Because she's big into that. So yeah, I can picture her giving Fall River the money for that because you have a Democrat mayor. You know what I'm
So where
saying?
you gonna?
Like they're friends. So she's going to help out. But the problem is that this money that she gives to all these towns and cities don't are not accounted for. Nobody knows what happens to it once. If Paul Coogan gets $2 million from the
Yeah.
state's going to give him $2 million, but then the state is out of the picture and nobody knows where the money goes.
Yeah.
There's no
Well,
accountability from the state.
what's gonna happen is that Mayor Paul Coogan is gonna be reckless with it. Okay, and that's
Right.
what he's at. That's what he has been doing, being
Well,
reckless with the money.
that's corruption. So now you're
And
talking corruption.
yep, and he's been, using, the money could be used for our streets, our
Yeah,
sidewalks, and things
right,
that are very important, like our public safety, like the fire department. Okay,
right.
if you're getting $2 million, okay, why don't you just hand some of that money over to the fire department, because the fire department right about now can use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But no,
but that's the problem.
he doesn't.
See, this is the problem
He
again.
don't.
You get and it's the same thing in Swampscott. They give them money. Governor Baker at the time gave Swampscott and Lynn $1 million each to try and fix the sewage problem there. They didn't fix the sewage problem. Where did the money go? Nobody knows.
Yeah, what happened to it?
It's still a problem.
Yeah.
So nobody knows what happened with that money.
Well, they need to do, they need to do an internal. The Attorney General, Campbell, or whatever her name is. I think she's useless too.
Not
And
gonna happen.
I'm not going to, but they think
Even the state legislature
they need to
can't even
investigate.
get an audit going
No, they can't, because they're always
because
shutting it down. That's why.
of the corruption, that goes on there.
Yeah.
Okay, it is ridiculous.
Yes.
And it's not sustainable. What is going on in Massachusetts with the billions of dollars going to the illegals?
There's billions of dollars, yeah, going to them, and not
The
to, and not to the American people.
Not to the people in Massachusetts.
No.
They're paying for this. The
Yeah.
taxpayer is paying for the illegals, the shelters. In the shelters, they're getting everything from the taxpayer. They're getting their
Of course.
food, they're getting their clothes, they're getting room and board. The shelter in Marlborough, it's not even at full capacity, but they bill the state at full capacity.
Yeah.
This is the corruption. This is the corruption. Okay. Ironic was Obama's sketch computer. Yes. Well, use another one.
Yeah. And there's the other one that she put up.
How far you're. I know. My God, I saw that. That is the craziest thing. This is what I'm saying. See,
Yeah.
people are not okay. Either people are going to go for this and let the government do whatever they want because that's what they're used to. The government in Massachusetts, because they're so tyrannical and people allow them to do whatever they want, they think they're just gonna have an easy time with this
Yeah. They're not.
until somebody's going to blow up. People are it doesn't take a lot. Okay. You don't need
No.
the majority to get very upset. You just need a few people to get freaked out. Okay. So I don't know how long this is going to last in Massachusetts. I hope it's not going to last very long.
No. I mean, the protest over at the, at Grand Army Highway. I think they said they're going to block off the highway or something. It's. Yeah,
It's not going to change anything.
I don't know why they do it, because it's not going to change anything.
I don't
mean,
know. I don't know what the purpose is of this. Again,
I
if these
don't either.
people think they're entitled because they say so, this is not going to get them anywhere. It's not going to
Yeah.
help their, because they don't have a position anyway. I just think that this is just like a welfare state,
Yeah.
the Democrats giving them money because
Yeah.
they need it. And there's a lot of corruption.
Yeah.
There's just a lot. That's what it is. And
And
something. Oh, I was saying that in Massachusetts, it's not sustainable, right? What's
yeah,
going on money wise? Because
it's not sustainable. It's not. That's not
all the
even
cities,
edible.
all the cities and towns are feeling it right now.
Yeah.
They don't have the money. They don't have it. The billions of dollars going to the illegals, where, like I said, in Marlboro, they're getting everything paid for
Yeah.
by the taxpayer, and they're working under the table, and they're driving around in brand new cars,
Of
a
course.
Mercedes SUV, all SUVs all over the place,
I
and
wish
not
I could drive. I wish
that's
I
right,
could.
exactly,
I
exactly.
wish I could drive around in brand new cars.
No,
I mean,
they buy, yeah, they lease or buy or whatever. But my point is that they live in the shelter, they go to work under the table, and then they go back to the shelter where everything is paid for. They have no expenses. They have no expenses. Yes, right,
looking at giving home based housing and
right,
assistance,
right.
and you may vote your way into the
Communism,
communism, and
yeah.
you will have to shoot your way out,
Right.
Linda. And
No,
yeah,
look how many skilled labor. Yes, yes, and it's
mhm,
going to get worse now because of the driving that they're trying to monitor and restrict. This stuff is just all. This is how can they not know what they're doing here?
that is
See, they
true.
know
Yep.
they know what they're doing. This is the part either people want to see this and see the state crumble that are voting for
Yeah.
this,
Of course.
or they really think they're help. It's not sustainable. You cannot spend billions of dollars on illegals, on taxpayer money, while the state is like the most expensive state in the country. It toggles between number one and number two.
Yeah.
It's in the top two most expensive state in the country. So how can you have that problem in Massachusetts and then have taxpayer money go to the illegals? How is this going to work?
I have no idea.
It's not going to. It
No.
can't. It can't. And like I said, Fall River is feeling it. In Swampscott, they're doing the same thing. Right. Yes.
Hilly is bragging about stopping two neutral gas pipelines that would have revealed the burning on the workers and families.
No.
She's going
Which is
around
not.
bragging about that. The remember the
When
pipeline?
right, when she was running for governor, she
Yeah,
said she was going to do that, and people voted her in anyway. I mean, I don't know where people are coming from at this point. Now
no,
you've got the renewable energy that is very expensive. It is not helping out the average working um, family. It's not doing anything. It's making it more expensive. And what's going to happen when these resources start to disappear, like the fire department, like the money, like asking where the money is coming from, Healy probably giving it to the states and the cities. This is not sustainable. This is not sustainable. That she's using taxpayer money for housing and for the illegals. That's the two top priorities for Mara Healy.
yeah.
And everything else is going to pot, and they don't care.
They don't care. Nope, they don't care
They
at all.
don't care. In Swampscott, you have the dirtiest beach in the country. They don't care.
Of course not.
The money is being used, the taxpayer money is being used to buy up real estate for housing. That's what's going on in Swampscott. And everything else is getting neglected, just like in Fall River and just like in all the other states, all the other towns and cities in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
This is not sustainable. This is not sustainable. Either the people in Massachusetts have to stand up and do something about it,
Yeah.
or they're going to just let the state crumble because they don't know what to do. They're not going to have the services that they need. Crime is probably going to get worse.
Yeah.
You're going to have fires, and these thugs know this, and they're going to start burning, knowing that the firefighters aren't going to come and put out the fire. You're going to have issues. And again, Maura Healey and all the other elected officials do not care.
Nope.
They don't care.
No, they don't.
It's inevitable. It's inevitable. The way that it's going in Massachusetts, that is the road that is heading right now because of the monies and how it's getting allocated. It's not going to the taxpayer and the services that they need. It's going to the illegals, and it's going to housing. Maura Healey is using taxpayer money to buy up buildings, and recently this was in downtown Boston. She's going to convert the commercial buildings there, because there are no businesses, into residential units, and she's going to use taxpayer money for this. How are the towns and the cities going to have money when that's what she's using it for?
Yeah. I don't know why she's using it like that, because
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly. I don't know
mean,
either.
I mean, what is wrong? I mean, she needs to get out of office. I mean, she needs to get out. Okay, and
she does. But is the next guy gonna do a better job? Are people gonna hold these guys accountable? I mean, you have two rhinos, I believe, that are running for the governor's race.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to do something different. They do sound different than she does.
Yeah.
But who knows how they're going to be voting in Massachusetts? If people don't come out in droves to vote, that state is going to go under.
Yep.
Period. I don't know how they can't see this. I don't know how anybody cannot see this. This is just like basic math, basic accounting. If whoever's working, you're making $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
And you take that money that you are taking in for the household and you use all of it to renovate your home. What do you got left?
Nothing.
Nothing.
We ain't got not one dime.
You put all the money in the house because you want to fix it, and you got no food. You've got you can't pay the bills. This is what's going to happen. You've got money coming in from the taxpayer that Maura Healey is using for the illegals and housing. She is funding that primarily.
Yes.
And then, you got towns like Fall River saying, where are they getting this money? I don't get it. Did you read about Massachusetts town that kicked their youth out of record? Yes, this is what I'm saying. See, this is what I'm saying.
This is what,
These things that we grew up with are going to disappear little by little. And this is the plan. This is what they want. They want the illegals to take
Yeah.
over. Period. They do. They do. Did you hear about President Trump giving families $1,000 if they have children?
No. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Elon Musk mentioned this, and it's
Oh,
true.
really?
Yeah, in the industrialized countries like in Italy, in Europe and all that, the birth rate has really gone down. And now it's happening in this country
Really?
where you don't
Wow.
see as many kids as you used to. And
Yeah.
it's true because where I grew up, I mean, there were like loads of kids on the street. Now there's nobody.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're not going to have the kids, you know, replacing, so to speak, the people that eventually are going to leave this earth,
Yeah.
how? I mean, this is going to be lopsided. A lopsided civilization. The human race isn't going to exist if we don't procreate. So
No.
President Trump has asked three companies. See, now we're getting into the private sector. I found this interesting. He's not using taxpayer money. He's asking the private sector to pitch in to help people get incentivized to have families and children.
Families and children. Wow.
Yeah, he's asking companies to do that. He's asking companies to contribute to this, not the taxpayer money, but the companies.
He's asking the companies to contribute.
Yeah, the private sector in New York City, which placed high school students on remote learning to use that. Yes, yes, yeah. It's everywhere. Once the birth rate falls beyond, so yeah, the population goes into it and becomes impossible to maintain. Maintain
Yeah.
what? There's not going to be
Yeah.
anything to maintain.
That is nothing to maintain.
There's not going to be the kids. There aren't any kids practically. And what are we going to have? This is why they want the illegals here. They want to replace. See that they think that they're going to replace the white people because they're not having enough children.
They want to replace the white people
Yeah, because of the low birth rate.
because of the low birth rate. So they want to replace white people.
That's the game. That's the end game. So they've got all these illegals that are coming in here. And what's
Yeah.
going to happen is that the white people, because they're not procreating, but they are, right? People
Yeah.
that are on welfare, people like and the illegals, they have multiple children. They don't have one or two kids.
Oh, of course
They
not.
have three,
Multiple
four,
children.
5. Yeah. So
They
they're
remind me
going.
of they remind me of China having multiple kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
They had so many people that the government had to tell people to stop having children.
What about birth control pills? I mean, doesn't that work anymore?
Yeah, but I had 5 kids, love babies. But yeah, you're not this generation, however. This generation is a whole different story. They're not going to have 5 kids. Very few have 5 kids. They have
Yeah.
1 or 2, 2 at the max. That's the norm, 2. But you have the people on welfare and the illegals that have way more than 2 children as the norm. As a norm.
That is the
So at some point they're going to take over.
yeah.
They're going to take over, and I think that's part of the end game here because there are not as many white people or not as many white kids as there used to be,
Yeah.
and they want them, but they're here illegally. They can't stay.
Well, they have to go. I mean, it's
Uh huh. Uh-huh.
They're not. I mean, they're not American citizens at all. You know what I'm saying? So
So that's why President Trump came up with this incentivized program so that it will give people money
yeah,
to have kids. How many kids a family has is not a government business. China forced abortions. Yes, yes. No, it's not the government's business. But if you have a population that is waning and
yeah,
you don't have children being born to sustain a country, I don't see anything wrong with incentivizing people to have children. Not, he's not telling them how many to have, and I don't know what that is, but I think it's worse, like Linda said, when they start to intervene and say you can't have any more kids because there are too many people in the country.
yeah.
So that one extreme to another. You have one extreme to another.
I mean, ain't there? Like I said, ain't there such thing as like birth control pills? I mean, it's
I don't know. I mean, China does not have the same system that we do. I don't know what they do. Maybe they don't. It sounds
yeah,
like maybe they don't.
yeah,
I don't know, but maybe this country women use the birth control pill too much,
yeah.
and they
Yeah.
don't
Well,
and they don't get pregnant. Once you get off the birth control pill, say, a lot of young women, like in their 20s, right? A lot of young women, maybe even earlier than 20, take birth control pill. They start taking birth control pills kind of youngish. By the time they, might want to have children, or they meet somebody that they want to have kids with, when they get off it,
yeah,
they're still not going to be able to have children because now it's in their system.
yeah. Birth control pills.
If they've been taking it years and years and years, it is in their system. And just because they stop, it doesn't mean that they're going to have children right away. Who knows how long it takes to get out of the system, or even if it does, if they've been taking it for such a long time. So that's another problem, is that birth control
Yeah,
pills is another problem. So women have to be careful with that because it changes the reproductive system.
yeah,
And who knows if they will ever be able to have children if they keep taking it, So, I mean, that's another issue. When my mother, and before that, that I don't even think was around. My grandmother had 11 kids.
11 kids.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel!
So there was
But
no birth control
wait,
back
hey, wait a minute. What happened to the TVs?
then. They didn't have TVs.
They didn't have TVs back then.
Well,
Wow,
no.
man. So
If
everybody.
you were poor, you didn't have anything.
I mean,
They didn't have anything.
all it was is to go to bed and that's it.
Yeah, pretty
Holy
much.
mackerel!
You
Seven
know,
kids. That's a lot of kids.
11, yeah, 11 kids, and
Wow. My
yeah,
mom
she
was
had 11 kids.
my mom had five. My mom had
That's a
five children.
that's a lot. That's a lot too. And Linda said she has five too. So that's a lot. That's a lot.
And I only had four plus a stepson.
That's a
That
lot
was
too,
yeah.
considering that the norm, the average is two. The average is two.
The average is
So
two. Yeah,
my sister had two.
there's a lot of kids, man. Jesus, man.
A
Seven.
boy and a girl. Yeah, but my grandmother had 11 in Italy. She had 11. And
Well,
in Ireland it's the same thing. I knew a woman, like 10, 15 years ago who
yeah.
had 11 kids too.
In Ireland,
but
11. Wow, my
but
God.
in this but in this generation, not a long time ago now, No, and that's a lot, like 7 or 8 or something. I forget, but it was, it's not 2. It wasn't 2, and it was past 5. It was 6 or 7. Catholics do not believe in birth control. So if they're going to be religious, they're not going to take it. I have heard of women in China being allowed to have a baby in a certain year, but the women would not be at a term by the end of that year, and were then, oh my God, even when baby, whoa, I didn't hear that. That's bad. Holy crap. See, this is the Communist Party. They get involved in your life. And this is what, to me, like what's going on in Massachusetts, like you can only drive so many miles now. This is getting now into your personal life, telling you how much you can drive. And if you go over it, you're going to get punished, like they do in communist China. If you do this, you're going to get punished. If you don't do that, you're going to get punished. This is what they're doing in Massachusetts.
Yep.
It's the same. It's the same thing, or it's the same idea. They can track your mileage if you have a car and you get car insurance.
Yep.
They give you something to put in your car, and they can track how many miles you're driving. So that's what they're going to do in the state. The state is probably going to give people that use the car regularly, they're going to give them a device, and they're going to know how many miles they're driving. They're in your personal space now. They're in your life. They're going to start telling you how much you can drive, where you can go, the times that you can drive. I mean, this is what's, it's going to happen. If people allow this to happen, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It is going to happen.
It's going to happen because nobody fights it. Nobody says, no, we're not going to do this. Are you nuts? We don't want this. Nobody says anything. Nobody says anything. They just let them do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And they're used to it. And that's it. And when, if this continues in that state, you're going to start having bigger problems. You got the fire department in Fall River complaining. You got people in Swampscott that are complaining as well. You're going to start hearing a lot of complaints.
Yeah.
And they're going to start asking questions like Chip and CJ, where is the money coming from? They're going to start asking these questions because they know that the town or the city is broke.
Well, the town and city. CJ. I think either CJ or Chip said that on today's Spindle City Straight Talk. They said that.
But that's everywhere. It's everywhere. Okay, it's happening in that state. People are going to start asking questions. They're going to start asking questions. Now, are they going to do something about it? I don't know. That's the next phase. Like, what are people going to do? Did you know that birth control will mess up a woman's attraction and judgment? Naturally, women attract men who are genetically dissimilar as possible.
It is possible, yeah.
I mean, you're a woman that takes birth control pills is not healthy, especially if they continue taking it on a yearly basis, year after year after year. That is not healthy. Yeah. It's just not healthy. It isn't. Yeah. It isn't. So,
well, I wouldn't know about birth control pills.
Well, if they took the mRNA shot, that's another problem.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of things. Well, I don't know too much about it, but for what I used to hear, that birth control pills could really destroy a woman's hormones.
Yes, right. The reproductive system, absolutely.
The hormones, the reproductive system.
Well, because that's what it's meant to do. Okay, yes. So it's going to mess it up. Of course. And, so. Women, even in high school, they're probably taking it at this point. It's dangerous, and I just don't think it's a good idea. I really don't.
Well,
that's me.
Well, the well, um, well, the women's today, okay, the ones, the high school is, I mean, I mean, they get so like, like if they see a boy, I don't even know if I should talk about this, but if they see a boy, okay,
Uh-huh.
and a boy and a girl, and they're going
Yeah.
out, okay,
Yeah.
I mean, they're so I don't know how to explain it, but I mean, I wish it
Well,
was.
this, the culture that we are living in right now,
Yeah.
it needs to be, women and men have to take more self control, especially at a young age. They're having sex very young,
Yes, they are.
in high school. Even now, even younger than that. This is just not good. Okay, it's just
Well,
not good.
they're having sex at 15 years old. They're having
Right,
sex at 12 years old. I mean,
right,
come on, they're getting
right,
pregnant and
right,
at a younger age. So
right,
now they have babies are having babies because I've seen it for my
right,
own self. Because
right.
I'm going to tell you, when I was at a bus stop
Yeah.
and when I used to live down on North Main Street, there was this 15-year-old girl down there. I didn't even know she was 15. I thought maybe she was probably like maybe 18 or something.
Yeah.
And she was pretty upset, and she was crying. And
Mhm.
so I asked her. I said, "What's wrong?" She says, "Oh, I'm pregnant. My mother threw me out. My boyfriend left me."
God.
And I'm like, I says, "Well, do you have any other immediate family that will that will help?" She says, "Nah, my parents is the only parents." I said, "You don't have any other immediate?" She goes, "No." I said, "Well, I said I said there is help. Well, I mean, we got DCF, Department of Department
Yeah.
Child and Family. They would actually help." And what else did I say? I said, well, we got counseling and stuff like that. You can go sign up for. And
Shelter.
they'll
Yeah,
help you.
women's shelter too.
And I said, we also have women's shelter, which is that you can stay in for the time being. They will help you get on your feet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Hmm.
until you and help you get and welfare will help you get an apartment because now welfare only helps with one kid with one child. They don't help with two anymore like they used to or three.
Oh
So
no, that's not true. No, that's not true in Massachusetts.
well, fill me in.
No, that's not.
Did,
We talked
did,
about this. We talked about it before.
did we?
Massachusetts still gives out money if you have two or three children. They don't stop at one. That is not true. That
They
is
said
not.
that they said that they were gonna. They said that they were gonna stop at one, and
No, it
some
never
people.
happened. It never happened. It never happened. They're not going to do that, David, because the
Let me in on it.
the Democrat Party relies on these welfare people because they
Yeah.
get money from them. They rely in exchange for this welfare money that they're getting. They're getting votes. This is how it works. Yes, 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 Linda. Yes,
Oh,
that is
I hear mothers are saying that they're putting their
yeah.
daughters on
Right.
birth control
Mhm.
as soon as they have
Yes. Mhm.
their
Yes.
monthly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they do now. That's what they do now. They think that if they're going to go out and have sex, at least they won't get pregnant, which isn't true because that's not 100% foolproof.
Wow.
Um,
Wow. Yeah.
so
True.
that's another issue. Welfare is another issue.
Yeah.
um, that these young girls they get pregnant, and
Yeah.
where are they gonna go? Like seriously, they don't think of these things. They don't think of the
No.
consequences. They're not taught the consequences. When they're in school, when they're taught these things, they have to be taught the consequences.
And the parents don't teach them either. So the parents are just as bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, it's not that issue is not an easy one to solve for sure, but
Yeah, well,
but you know, because it can get like messy. But if you have, yeah, I don't even know how to say it. I don't even know. I'm not an
yeah.
expert on these things
Me either.
because and nobody is. This is like a human thing, and it's hard to
Yeah,
say you can't do this, you can't do that, and I mean it's just a hard thing to predict. But having a girl at 14, 15, 16 having a kid is bad.
yes, it is.
Okay, that's just not good.
I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's hard for them. It's hard for them to take care of themselves, and how
Right.
can they, and how can they take care of a kid? You know what I'm saying, a baby. I mean, I see it every day. I mean, I see it every day. You know.
Right. So when you have like if a family is in a low income bracket, I believe that happens more so than in an area where it's maybe upper middle class. You don't see it that much. You
No.
don't see it that much. So the poverty cycle continues
Yeah.
with those people because if you have a kid, you know, at that young of an age, you know, you're going to have money to support that. And if you're already having a tough time, that money is going to go now to the child, and that poverty cycle continues.
Yep.
But the government does not want that to stop. They don't want it to stop. They want to incentivize in their own way to continue this because people will be dependent on the government. And it's a vicious cycle. It's a
Yes, it is.
vicious cycle. And it needs to be broken somehow. Somehow it needs to be broken. When a cycle is more frequent than the average range, hormonal contraception actually messes up the ability for the woman actually who she decides. Yeah, more infrequent, right? Yes, exactly. Well, I mean, I'm sure that that's what happens when a woman gets off of a birth control pill. It's now unpredictable. You don't know
Yeah.
what's happening. It's so, I mean, I'm sure that it affects all women differently. Some might not ever be able to have children, but they're going to have a hard time in general because their systems are all messed up from
Well,
having.
look how many kids I have.
Well, but in your generation, that wasn't really an issue.
No, it wasn't. I
Right
mean,
now it is. Now it's readily available. The government makes sure that women have birth control pills right at their doorstep. Like they can go
oh,
to a pharmacy and just go get it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
they're making sure that women have easy access to birth control pill.
yeah, and
They are. They are. The government
well,
doesn't help.
they should be using Trojans. You know, what I mean, they should be using them too. So I mean, basically,
Well, a woman can now take a shot too.
oh yeah,
Take
good.
a shot. Men don't have to do anything. Now that this is what I don't understand. Like men do
I don't
not.
understand any of this. I'm just a guy.
The men don't have to take pills to slow down their sperm count. Men don't have to take any shot or to slow down their sperm count. It's the woman that has to do
Yeah,
everything and mess up their system while the guy's system is ready to go.
yeah. So
Basically,
yeah,
ready to
that's it.
go. Well, I hope that this weekend
Yeah.
goes
Well,
well and peacefully,
I hope
and
so
that
too. This weekend.
things don't get out of control, like in Boston and other big cities. I
Well,
hope they
New
can
Bedford's
stay.
supposed to be the worst. So I mean,
Well,
that's what.
hopefully, yeah. Well, hopefully it can stay. People will keep their heads together and
Yeah,
not go nuts, you know,
yeah,
this weekend. So if you're going to be out there in the city or New Bedford or wherever the heck, you
Yeah.
have to, you just have to make sure Mountain Dew works for men.
Mountain Dew works for men. Patrick Coach.
That is so gross. Nick Stone, Sarah Goldsmith, Brian. What's that? Well, anyway, Mountain Dew is disgusting. So,
Yeah, I don't like
well,
Mountain Dew at all.
I like, I want to say this because everybody talks about pretty much, what
Sarah
President
Goldsmith,
Trump.
Brian Westgate.
Everybody talks about what President Trump is doing, and now the riots and all that, but nobody's talking about what RFK Jr. is doing.
What is RFK Jr. doing? You know what I'm saying? Nobody talks
He
about that.
No, and that doesn't get a lot of attention, but he's doing a lot of good things when it comes to the health of the people in this country. He has right now he fired all of the panel that decides on the COVID shot.
Oh, yeah.
He's fired them all. They're gone. So, and he also said that children now do not have to take the mRNA shot as part of their shot schedules.
Well, yeah, I was supposed to say something like that. There's supposed to be a summer kickoff at Ruggless Park for the kids this Saturday too. So,
Well,
yeah,
watch out for Saturday. That's all. Just watch out for Saturday.
yeah.
Saturday. I don't know. So
Well, it
that's
looks like
not.
it looks like the mayor. It looks like the mayor of the city of Fall River, Mayor Paul Corrupt. He's going to have his handful. So, looks like he's
Yeah.
going to have his handful.
Yeah, everybody's gonna have their hands full Saturday.
Well,
While I mean, I'm gonna watch DC. I'm gonna watch the parade,
yeah.
and
So
because
am
the
I. Of
protesters are gonna be there as well, and
course
I'm
they are.
sure they're gonna show them too. So this will be interesting to see what they do in DC. Yeah, so RFK Jr. is doing a lot of good things concerning
Wow.
the health, the food, getting rid of the dyes in the food and the junk, and the SNAP program. What the kids can eat if they're using the SNAP program, they're getting rid of all the junk food and everything that these kids are eating under this program. So
It's
he's
starting
doing
Saturday.
Saturday
It's Saturday. The
fourteen.
Saturday is the 14th. That's where the protest is going to come out. They're gonna it's they're gonna be in also in Somerset, Grand Army Highway, where the number 14 bus goes. So I don't even know. That bus might need to be rerouted. So and yeah, so that bus may be need to be probably rerouted. So I don't know.
Saturday is the nationwide date for the riots.
Yeah, so Saturday is the nationwide date. So
Yeah,
that's included Massachusetts, DC,
everywhere,
New Bedford,
everywhere.
and Chicago, and it's all over. So um,
Yeah,
that's
I
included
mean, I
everywhere.
don't know if it's going to stop after Saturday. I doubt it,
I
but
doubt it.
the plan is to have it on Saturday because it's Flag Day, and President Trump is going to have the parade in DC. So they
So
did that on purpose. They did that on purpose.
So it's good. It's all over the country. So,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, just be careful out there, people. You know what I'm saying? On Saturday, if you see it, just walk there. Let the police handle it because that's what the taxpayers pay them for. We
Yeah,
probably, we probably
stay
might
away.
have just stay away from it because it's going to get brutal. It's because they're
It could get brutal. It could get
yeah,
brutal. Hopefully it doesn't, but I don't think anybody wants to be in the middle of a riot.
no,
If it gets to that point,
yeah.
I think it is going to get to that point. I think in some cities it is going to get to that point, they're going to have riots. This is not going to be. This is not going to be a peaceful protest. They're going to
No,
have
it's not.
riots. No,
I
no.
mean, Saturday I was
I
supposed
mean,
to go. Saturday I was supposed to go to Target, but I ain't going now.
well,
I was.
I wouldn't stop your whole life because of it. But
I,
I mean, I mean, you have to be aware of what is going on, and do what you got to go do, and don't let them stop you because that's called terrorism.
I'll go. I'll go to. I'll go to. If I have to go, I'll go to North Dartmouth Target if I have to.
That's called terrorism.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is what they're trying to scare people
Of course.
by these riots. This is to terrorize people so that your life is interrupted. This is what they want.
Yeah.
This is what they want. You cannot fall into their trap because
Yeah.
if
I know.
you
Yeah.
do, if fear takes over
Yep.
in your life, you're in trouble. You're in
Oh,
trouble.
absolutely. Yeah.
You're going to be paranoid. You're going to be looking over your shoulder the whole time. You're going to be
Yeah.
wondering if they're going to be coming down the street. You're going to be, that's not the way you want to live.
No. No. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is not living
Yeah.
when you get afraid of what you're seeing. This is a tactic that they use to make people afraid.
Yeah. I'm not afraid of them.
Okay, well,
But
I mean,
the only problem
you
is
were
I
going to
worry
go
about.
to Target, but now you're not going to go. I mean, come on, you
Yeah.
are. I mean, you are afraid.
Well,
You,
how's I take the bus, the 114? How's it going to get? How's it going to get through? It can't go around.
well, I don't know, but that doesn't, I mean, that's different if that's the case. I mean, I don't know. But, to say that I'm not going to go do something because of this planned protest, yeah, you are,
Bad word.
changing
Yeah.
your habits because of that. So now people are going to start monitoring this on a daily basis. What's happening now? Is it going to happen again in my city? Is it going to be here today? Am I going to have to watch now down the street? Am I going to have to? That's not living.
Well,
That's not living.
well, Linda says that blocking the public streets is
Yes,
illegal.
yeah, and so is the highway. That's
That's
also illegal.
illegal
But
too.
but they do illegal things. That's what they're good for. They're
That's
not.
how
They're
that's how the Democrats are.
right.
They
So
like to do illegal things.
you are going to when you go. It doesn't matter when you go out. You are taking a chance. You don't know what's going to happen every
Yeah.
time you go out.
Oh, of course.
So
I
a protest shouldn't stop you from doing what you got to go do. But I would say that if it's going to get out of hand, and it might, you want to stay away from that area. It doesn't mean that you have to stay in all the time. You know
no,
what I
no.
mean?
I
You
go to
stay away from the area that if you're concerned about, then you just stay away from it and go about your business. But don't let them stop you or
I'm
anybody
not
else
gonna let
do
them stop me. No way.
what you gotta go do. I mean, just yeah, I like to watch to see what is going on. Okay.
Yeah.
I just like it because I want to see what's going on. I like to just keep up with what's happening so I'm aware. But it's not going to stop me from, I'm not going to go out Saturday because they're going to have protests. I don't know where they're going
Well,
to be. So
no,
I better stay home.
no. But if they have,
Yeah.
okay, Grand Army Highway, okay, bus 114 goes by there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I bus 114 goes by there. So and I don't know if there's any other route where that the bus is going to go by, because they may route the buses because of the protesters. So they may do that.
I doubt it. I doubt it. I
Well, we'll
doubt it.
see.
Why would they want to do that?
Well, I
Why
mean,
why does the world have to change because the protesters are there? Like why? Do you know what
well,
I mean? Like why
yeah.
would they reroute the buses because protesters are there? They're not going
I,
to do that. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it.
well, I spoke to I spoke to one of the supervisors, and they said that it's possible that they will do it. You know what I'm saying?
It's
So
possible. Anything is possible. It doesn't mean that they're going to. Possible
yeah.
doesn't mean that they're going to. So I don't see that happening. If I were in LA, I think that that's a different story.
Or
To
Chicago
me,
or something. That's a different.
yeah, to me, that's a New York City, maybe. That's a little different.
Mhm.
But, Boston isn't that big. I mean, Fall River, yeah, it's a city, but I mean, I don't think that the whole world has to like stop and revolve around these protests, thinking that it's going to end
It's
up
terrorists.
being something like LA. I I don't think so. I
I
don't
hope
think
not.
I don't think
But
so.
I just want people to be safe. You know what I'm saying? When they go out. You know what I'm saying? So, public safety is a big thing with me. So that's why I want
I
people to be
Yeah,
safe.
I mean, it should be yes, and everybody should be careful, but that
Be
doesn't
careful.
mean that your life has to like
Stop.
revolve around people that are going to have a protest. I mean, that just doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah.
That everybody has to put their life on hold because of these protests. I mean, that doesn't sound good at all. To me, this sounds like a big fear. It sounds like
Yeah.
fear.
Oh
That
yeah.
means
But
you're afraid. You're afraid of the protests because of what you saw in LA. You're afraid of the protests
well, I
because
mean, but
they
if they
showed in Chicago. This is called sensationalism by the news. They're not going to show you a boring, peaceful protest. They're going to
no.
show you people that are going to set cars on fire. They're going to show you looting. They're going to show you vandalism. You're going to hear about these things. And then you hear it's going to happen around your neighborhood, and you think that that's what's going to happen. You associate that protest, which is not a protest, it's a riot. That is
Well,
not
that's
a
what it
protest.
is. It's a riot. That's what it
That's
is.
a riot. Okay. It's
Yeah.
not a protest. It's not a protest. That's a riot. But I cannot see that happening in your area. Like for what? Because
Well,
LA has 50% of their population are Latinos.
yeah.
So they are going to do that. It makes sense, so to speak. I don't think that that's happening where you are, where half of the people are Latinos. That's not the case there.
Well, we'll have to see what happens.
Well, yeah, but you're not going to have a kind of riot that happened in LA
No,
or
maybe
in,
not.
or in Chicago. LA
Yeah.
and Chicago are very big cities.
Well, I mean, you never know, too. So, I mean, you never know. It's possible. I'm saying,
Dave, anything is possible.
yeah,
That's not the only thing that's possible. Anything is possible.
yeah.
Anything is possible. But it doesn't mean, again, that your whole life has to
Oh no, I'm not going to stop my whole
because
life because it
you're
is.
afraid or wondering you're going to have riots in your neighborhood like you had in LA.
Well, I mean, the way these people
You
are.
actually do you actually really believe that in your area they're going to set whammo electric cars on fire? Do you even have those? You don't have those.
We have electric cars around here. We do.
Electric taxis.
Not
Wamos are electric
electric
taxis.
tech. We have hybrids. Um, but we don't
I'm
have
not
electric
asking
taxis.
you that. I'm asking you electric taxis.
No, we don't have
Does
that.
okay. So
We
that's
have
not going to,
electric cars.
yeah, but they're not going to cap. That's not okay. They're not, they have them in LA and they set them
Well,
on fire.
well, we have a Honda dealer that has electric cars over there, and electric cars over there now. And
They're not
now,
interested in those. They're not interested in those. They're not interested
uh,
in those. Okay. That's not the issue. The issue is that they're protesting President Trump and ICE and the deportation.
yeah.
That's what the protest is about. Okay.
Well, because ICE is being threatened, and also their families are being threatened. So that's why we had the 400 National Guards and the 700 Marines out
No, that's not why. No,
there.
that is not why.
Okay.
That's
All
not
right.
why.
So you said something about the federal building.
They were there, yes, to defend the federal buildings, not to protect the police or anybody else in that city. They can't do that. They can't do that.
Unless Trump
I'm
gives the order.
sure. I'm sure that it stopped them from doing any further damage because the National Guard and the Marines were there,
Yeah.
and it stopped them. But like I told you before, they cannot interfere with the police in LA. They can only protect the federal buildings. It's got nothing to do with ICE agents and their families being harassed and doxxed. It's got nothing to do with that. Got nothing to do with it. Nothing at
Well,
all.
Governor Newsom, um, yeah, well, that's the word for him. Governor Newsom, uh, him, you know what I'm saying? Democracy. This is not a democracy. It's republic. You know what I'm saying?
They do
And
that, but yeah, go ahead.
oh, well, our nation's under attack and everything else, and our nation's under attack. Trump is bringing all kinds of National Guards, Marines in here. I mean, it's not under attack. It's not. It's really not.
LA was under attack. LA is under attack.
Well,
LA
is under
is
attack.
under
Okay.
attack. They are under attack. And even President Trump said that because the National Guard and the Marines are there, they have stopped further damage.
Well, we have to get rid of the governor and the mayor, and we have to get somebody new over there.
Well, in California, it's the same thing in Massachusetts. Are they going to get rid of Mara Healey? Are they going to get rid of Michelle Wu when people go and vote? This is the issue. The issue is, just like in Massachusetts, and I've said it before, it's the voter here. Okay? It's the voter. The voters put in these people. Now, I think there is a voter fraud going on. Okay? I think there is voter fraud. All right.
Water fraud's going on too. So I mean,
there's
no doubt about that.
I'm gonna do that again. Stop.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. My cat is
the cat.
Yeah, I mean, she's going after this lamp and she's already broken it. Now, oh my God, this cat doesn't know how to mind its own business. So,
yeah. Well, he wants to get into the action.
Oh my gosh! It just she's got so many toys, but she doesn't want to play with the toys. She has to go and mess up my stuff. But anyway, it's the voters. It's the voters that that put in these people. So that's really it's the voters at this point. It's and again, I'll say it again. Massachusetts has a mayoral race coming in November.
Oh yeah.
Who are going to vote in? Who are seriously, like, who are they going to vote in Boston? What are they going to do?
I'd like to know. Well, we got to get rid of Michelle Wu too.
Yeah,
as well as
I mean, we want to see her go. Obviously,
I like to see her go.
But who's going to come out and vote? Last time, 75% of the people didn't even show up to vote in Boston.
No,
You're going to
no,
have the same problem again in November, and she's going to get back in.
probably.
And that's what I'm talking about, the voter. This is the voter. This is not the politician that gets elected and is doing their job the way they want to get, the way they want to do it because people elected them. This is on the voter. This is on the voter.
Well, we got to
They-
persuade the voters to get out there
yes,
and vote her out.
right.
Same
That's
thing,
what,
and same thing with Mayor Paul Coogan. We got to get the voters
yes,
to vote him out too. You know what I'm saying?
right. That's right. You can have like Spindle Straight Talk. They talk a lot about what is going on in Fall River, and
They do.
and that's good. And they should have every city and town should have a Spindle Straight Talk program. Everybody should have it.
Well, you got
Okay,
two
they all
here.
should have people that like Chip and CJ that are very informed about what is going on and tell people what is happening. Everybody should have that.
Well,
Huh?
Chip and CJ,
Yeah.
Chip and CJ, they go to the city
The
councils
meetings.
and the
Right.
meetings a lot, and
Exactly. Right.
yes, they do all the time.
Yeah. And so those people that do that should have a program.
Yeah.
People that, follow these things and go to the meetings, know what's going on, they should tell the others in the city or town what is happening. So, and they do talk about that, but it's important that they reach the voter.
Wait a second here. You see this? The mayor is funding the protesters. You got to be kidding me! The mayor of Fall River is funding the protesters.
I don't
Really?
know. Who knows? Anything is possible, right? Anything.
I mean, anything is possible with Mayor
Anything's
Paul Coogan.
possible.
Mayor Paul Coogan's going to fund the what do you call it? The protesters in Fall River.
Oh God. I don't
my
think that's a
God.
good idea. I
I
don't
don't
know
think
why
that's
he
a
would
good
do
idea.
that. I don't
And
know
why
why.
would he do that? And well, Mayor Paul Coogan has ties with Black Lives Matter. Believe it or not, he does.
Well, practically everybody in Massachusetts does. The elected official in Swampscott's the same thing. They all have ties with them.
Yeah.
Google. Oh, she's funding the protest. I don't know how she is it she or he? I don't know. How do
It's a
they know
he.
that? Like, how do they know that?
Well, I mean, they got their sources, so I mean, they
do?
probably know. Yeah, they probably know.
How would they and why? Like, why would he fund them?
Let me see. He is giving them 200,000. How
What?
in the world that he's going to give them 200,000?
No, that's a paid. Now you're talking a paid protest. He's giving them how many people are going to be there? Why 200,000? That's a lot of money. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, we don't even got money here for the fire department, and why would he give? Why would he give them 200,000? I mean, I hope not.
I don't get that.
Wow.
I don't understand why. I don't think it's I don't think it's per se the government that's funding them, but there are groups that do fund these people. There are groups. I mean, I don't think it's the government. I think they're associated with the government, but I think the money is coming from maybe NGOs, non-governmental organizations, BLM, communism, all these activist organizations, Soros.
Oh, all right. To stop ICE from coming into the city.
That's not going to stop ICE from coming into the city, paying them 200,000. What are they going to do? That doesn't even make any sense.
I have no
They
idea.
cannot, the state or the city of Florida, Paul Coogan cannot stop the federal agents from going into any city or state. That doesn't even make any sense.
No, he
That's
can't.
no, he
Well,
can't. Nobody can.
well, the
No,
well the
you
chief
can't.
the chief of police, Kelly Furtado, she supports ICE for coming in, and that's good because I heard her say it.
Yeah.
She
So how can Paul Coogan stop that? If
yeah,
if the ma- if the chief of police saying that she supports ICE, that means Paul Coogan supports ICE too, because that's her boss.
that's very true. So that's very true.
She wouldn't say that if he did not want ICE there. She would say we don't want ICE here. Unless she's lying. Unless she's lying.
I don't know unless Mayor Paul Coogan's lying. I don't know
Right. Because ICE went
because
to the
ICE is
right.
to the boys. Oh, come on,
So
now you're being
what? Oh my
silly.
God. They can go
They
wherever
go,
they want. They
yeah,
can go. Look, this is just getting way out of hand. So anyway, the
yeah. Go
point
ahead.
is
Let's get
that
back on track there.
there's going to be a nationwide protest because of the deportations. Okay,
Yeah.
yes, but they're not going to stop them. And no matter how much money they're getting paid or whatever it is, I don't know if they're getting paid or not. Um,
Well, look at BLM, Black Lives Matter. They got paid, didn't they?
Yeah, they were getting paid by the Communist Party. They were getting paid, probably backed by George Soros.
Yeah.
People were donating to BLM to the tune of millions. They got so much money that they stole it. They didn't. It never went back. It never went to the black community. They
No,
bought
it didn't.
homes. No, they bought multi-million-dollar homes for themselves. They bought multiple homes. They took vacations. They bought brand new cars for themselves. I mean, they lived very well on people's donations for BLM. It did not go where people thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
And that is to help the black community. It did not
No.
do that.
The leader of Black Lives Matter, she actually took all the money and she actually took off. She actually
Well,
left.
no, she didn't take all the money, but a lot of people took the money. A lot of
A
people,
lot, yeah.
and they live very well
Of
because of
course.
it. So
Because of
no,
the people of Swampscott, the people of Fall River, the people of Fairhaven, they were all naive and they were giving them money.
look, I'm going to say this because again, I was at the standouts and look,
No, I know you was.
people fall into this
Trap.
belief that they're doing something good. They're helping out black people because all these poor black people, they're suppressed. They need this, they need that. All these poor black people, oh my God, I feel so guilty. They've got nothing. Let me tell you, they have probably more TVs in your home than you do because of the money. They know how to scam, is my point. They know how to scam. They know which buttons to push. They know how to do this. Just like with George Floyd, it was all exploited because of that. They took advantage of people's sympathies to create this Black Lives Matter, and money poured into them, millions
Yeah.
and millions and millions, so much money that the people that were running it ended up becoming millionaires, multi-millionaires. That's how much money they
Wow.
got.
They didn't have to go to the casino or hit a scratch ticket.
No. And
That's
everybody that
why.
was giving to them, to BLM, it never went to the black communities.
No, Never went to the Latinos either. Never went.
Never. It was meant for the blacks. No,
Yeah, nobody,
they
no
did
money.
not see a dime.
Yeah,
They didn't see a dime. They took it for themselves. They are scammers. Period.
they're
Period.
criminals. That's what they're criminals.
That's
That's what
right.
they are.
That's right. That's exactly what
And
they
and
are.
and when you're a
And
criminal,
yes, and you've got the taxpayer, they're using the taxpayer money to do it with. That's
yeah,
what they're doing. They know how to do it. They
yes, they do.
know they're very good at it. They're very good at it. And
Yeah.
people fall for it all the time, just like what is happening right now with these deportations. It's the same thing.
People are falling for it.
It's the same thing where you have these poor illegals that have nothing and we have to give them everything. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
It's the
I
same
mean,
thing.
I feel that this is a repeat of what went on back in, was it 2020?
Yeah, it's just a
It's a
bigger
repeat.
scale now. It's a,
Yeah,
yeah, and again, it's they're using the sympathy. This is communism. This is what the communists do. And if you listen to the riots there in LA and the people there that were talking, it was
oh,
all about the women and the kids. The women and the kids.
that's all they
It was
talk
all
about.
about, oh, they stole my husband. I can't find him. They took my husband. Like, they're kidnapping people. They're breaking up families. This is all to get on your sympathy. This is what they do. And Black Lives Matter did the same thing.
Of course they do.
And now they're doing it again. Oh, a pregnant woman. They just arrested a pregnant woman. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, they're going to deport a pregnant woman
Oh, poor thing.
from the family. They can't find the husband. But it's unbelievable. It just doesn't stop. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
they don't. Yeah.
And at this point, for me, it's like one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
Now, could it be true? Maybe. But what I've seen
But you
from
never know.
yeah, from BLM, like in 2020 and 2021, I'm sorry. But my sympathy, I didn't have any sympathy for BLM anyway. It's
I
out
don't
the
have.
window.
I don't.
I
I don't
don't
have
have
any
it.
sympathy. I don't have.
I
No,
do
I
not
don't have no sympathy for them either.
sympathy for criminals.
No,
Okay? I don't have the sympathy for these criminals
I don't
that
support
want to
criminals.
steal your money. They want to stay in this country illegally and they want to use taxpayer money to do that with.
That's
They
absolutely right.
want us to fund their lifestyle.
Yep.
That's what they want. This is what they're crying about. That's why they're having these protests. Because President Trump and the administration that we voted for is taking it away. And
Yep.
they don't like it. They're
And they don't
calling
like it. They don't like it when President Trump is taken away. So they'll call him Hitler. They'll call him
right,
fascist.
right.
They'll call him every name in the book.
That's right. He's a king. This is authoritarian, whatever it is, using his authority. He's using money for the parade. In other words, why are you using money for the parade when you can give it to me? You know what I'm saying? It's like taxpayer money is being wasted. It could be given to us instead of using it for them. No,
Absolutely.
you know what? He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, and it's driving these people insane. It's driving them insane, and that's a good sign.
Oh.
Which means he's doing the right thing. He's doing the right thing because it's driving
man,
them.
these people, these protesters, they're mental.
They're mental because they're so used to getting everything that they want.
Oh, I even down in Los Angeles, California. Wait a minute, not Los Angeles. I think it was New York. The screaming on. No, it wasn't New York. It was Providence. They're screaming on the mic. I can't hear what this guy is saying. I don't even know what this guy was talking about. All I heard was blah, 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 blah. That's all I heard. You're screaming. Tell us what you want, okay? Tell us what you want.
We know what they want. We know what they want. They do
Trump is
not
not a
want,
fascist. Trump is not racist.
they don't want ICE deporting these people. Too bad.
Too bad. Cry me a
Who
river.
cares? Who
Yeah.
cares whether you want it or not? It doesn't matter. The
Ooh,
law,
yeah.
right?
Ooh,
The law is the law. It doesn't matter whether you want it or not. It's
we
the
are
law.
pushing law and order. Okay, that's
Exactly.
what should be put: law and order. You come in, you loot, you break things,
Right.
you destroy, you commit violent acts.
Right.
You're going to jail. That's where you're going.
Right. Yeah. And there have been charges. They've caught people, doing these criminal acts, and they've taken them into custody, and they're going to get charged. And that's how it has to go, because
Right.
these people don't know law and order, because for the past 4 years, Biden has let them do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Do whatever they want. In East Boston, they have a large Latino community, a lot of illegals.
Yeah.
Okay. They set up businesses in this community. They had jobs, they had homes or apartments and families.
Yeah.
Once ICE went into that neighborhood, all the businesses, they've stopped going because they're afraid of getting caught. And they're going to get deported. And and my point is that for 4 years they were able to do these things because Biden wasn't going to do anything about it.
Oh, Biden was a suck up, man.
Not only was the federal government not going to do anything about it, but the state government Massachusetts wasn't going to do anything about it.
Of course not.
East Boston wasn't going to do anything about it. They let them do whatever they wanted. All over the country. Chicago, the same thing. LA, the same thing. New York City, the same thing. Boston, everywhere. These people that were able to go to sanctuary cities and states were able to set up shop there. And they got money from the taxpayer. They got everything was paid for by the taxpayer. And they didn't have to worry about a thing. When my father came into this country, that was not the case. Nothing was given to him by the taxpayer. Nothing.
Not a dime.
Right. He found work and he worked. That's what he did. Nothing was expected from the taxpayer of this country to foot the bill for his shelter, for his food, for his clothes, for his transportation. That's not how it worked.
Yeah.
That's not how it worked. But that's what they were. Did you know that when the border was open and they crossed over into this country, they were told to go to Massachusetts? Do you know why? You know why they were told to go to Massachusetts? Because Massachusetts is the only state in the country that has a right to shelter law.
Yeah.
Okay. They were told to go to Massachusetts because of that right to shelter law, which Maura Healey used to tell them to come because of that law. But that's not what it was for. It was not for the illegals. Dukakis put it in. Dukakis put this law, right to shelter law, but it had nothing to do.
Dukakis did that, yeah.
Yeah, but it had nothing to do with the illegals. But Maura Healey is using it for the illegals, saying that there are pregnant women in this group with children, because that's for the right to shelter law. That's who it's for.
Yeah.
So she's using that law to house these illegals in the shelters. That's what she's doing.
Yeah. It's about the size of it.
So these people are used to this. And then guess what? Boom, November comes, right?
Yeah.
And President Trump gets in. And guess what? Now it's all turned upside down.
Well, Trump shut it all down. You know what I'm saying? That's what he did. I mean, the
It's all
cars,
it's
the
all
money.
changed.
He took away federal funding, which is
That's
good.
right.
He took away federal funding. Good, I'm glad.
Right.
And you know something? Let him take away more money because you know something? Because that will teach them, okay, that hey, you're not gonna mess with us. Okay? You're not gonna mess with
Right.
us. You want to
Yep.
play around, you're not gonna get any more federal funding. And if you keep doing if these people keep on doing what they're doing, they're not going to even get state money no more. We'll shut that down. How's that?
Yeah, they're going to do absolutely. And that is being done. And I think it's driving them crazy because they're not seeing the benefits that they once got under the Biden administration. So that's I think the reason for the protests is that very thing. That's why they're calling him a king. That's why, hey, kings don't do whatever they want to do. You can't tell us what to do. Well, yeah, yes, he can, because they're so used to getting whatever they want. There was no accountability. There was no punishment. They were being rewarded for coming here illegally. They were being rewarded for it. Okay. They got used to it.
Yeah.
They got used to it. They did.
Yeah.
They've established a lifestyle, like I said, in LA, 50% of the population are Latinos. They're Latinos, 50%, half of the population. That's a lot of people in LA. You're talking about a big city, a big one, a very big one. It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
Okay,
so we're gonna hold these protesters accountable too. So I mean, if they destroy, they burn, they break things, they're gonna be held accountable.
Well, if that happens, yes, of course.
Which is I see it. I see, it might not happen right away, but it will happen at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you don't know that. You don't know that.
No, well, I mean,
you don't know that. You don't know that. Unfortunately, your fear is taking you over. It's taken over, and it's not good. It is not good to think like that. You have to stop thinking like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna go crazy. You're gonna get paranoid. You are. I mean, again, you have to be able, when you watch these things, to let it go and roll off your shoulder. It has to.
I laugh at it though. I mean, I laugh.
You know what I mean? You really can't take it to heart and think that, oh my God, this is going to happen to us. Oh my God, what's going to happen if it happens here? What are we going to do? Oh my. No, that is terrible.
No, I'm not thinking like that.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. Yes, you are.
Hey, look, I'm going to put on my robot costume and I'm going to go and stand outside.
Make sure you have you should wear your body cam when you go out on Saturday. Because if you come across any of these jerks, you'll have it on tape. You have it on video.
That's definitely down. That's definitely. So,
you should.
Like I said, I just want people, listen up, everyone, and all my viewers out there. I just want people to, just be careful, be safe, on Saturday because we just don't know what these people are going to do. They say that they're going to block the the highways, but we really don't know. I mean. What they're going to do. So I just want everybody out there, look, just stay safe. You know what I'm saying? And go on, do what you got to do. And that's it. Take care of your family, go grocery shopping, you know what I'm saying? And just try to, not even to think, but, what these people are doing, just stay away from them. And that's it.
Well, yeah. I mean, these things, on Saturday, it's a nationwide protest, but it's not going to end there. These protests aren't going to stop.
No.
So the more President Trump, uses his executive powers, these people are going to go insane. And there's really nothing that they can do. The only thing, that can happen right now, and they know it, is that they're gonna have the Insurrection Act put into effect, and
Yeah.
now you're gonna have the National Guard and the military now are gonna be able to assist with the police.
Yep.
And now that's a whole different thing. Now you're talking a whole different ball game. Right now, that's not happening. But if these protests get out of hand, for the most part, if they get out of hand, he is going to call the Insurrection Act. I'm telling you, he's going to. He will. He's gonna
Yeah.
see. He's gonna see what happens on Saturday. He's gonna see what these protesters are going to do, and if they're out of control, I really think he's gonna declare the Insurrection Act. I really do, because at this point, it's not a protest. This is a war. This is an invasion and an insurrection. Now we're talking a war. This is a war. We're in a
Yep.
war.
Yes, we are in a war.
We really are. We
And
are. We're really.
Annalisa,
Yeah.
let me ask you something. I never heard about the Insurrection Act. What is that?
So the Insurrection Act was done in 1807.
Yeah, that was
And let
before
me
I
see
was.
if I can remember. Basically, what it does is it gives the federal government the right to intercede if there are certain conditions that are met, which is like people that are out of control, like the protests that are out of control, mayors or the elected officials not being able to restore order. So there's all these conditions, there's a few of them. And if any one of those are met, which I think they have been, watching LA especially, and I've seen what happened in Chicago a little bit, but I'm watching LA more. That criteria, the Insurrection Act fits that criteria, which is that the mayor and the governor were not able to take control of the rioters. It got out of hand.
Yeah.
Okay. And then on Sunday, they weren't able to control it. That's why the National Guard was sent in. And then the Marines were sent in too. But on Monday, the police started to take more control. And then the mayor put in a curfew. So they're trying to stop the rioting, the criminal activity that is going on there, the looting, the vandalizing, the burning, all that stuff. They're trying to put a curb on it because they know that President Trump could invoke the Insurrection Act, and they don't want that. They don't want it.
Yeah. Wow.
But since it's nationwide now and LA has no control over what happens nationwide, if it gets nuts like LA,
There's gonna be a problem.
yes, of course. If it's going to happen nationwide, I don't think the president has any choice but to invoke the Insurrection Act, which means that he's going to have to take now law and order into his hands because it's out of control. Because
Yeah.
the local police can't control these people. It's out of their hands. They can't
Yeah.
do it, or they don't want to do it, or whatever. He has to do that, because or else they will take over.
I think it's going to happen. I think he's going to invoke that. I think it's going to happen
Well,
because
I mean, again, he's
yeah,
waiting. He's waiting to see what happens on Saturday. This is the
yeah.
game plan. They've got it figured out. You think he doesn't have it figured out? He's talked to the mayor.
Trump's got it.
Yeah,
Trump's got it
they
figured
have
out.
got it
Yeah,
all figured out.
of course.
It's just now for us, it's a waiting game he's going to see what happens on Saturday. He's already warned them. President Trump has already warned the protesters in DC about whatever they're planning on doing if they're going to have riots. He's warned them already. I don't know why they would want to do that with the army there. It's dumb.
Oh, it is dumb because now we got tanks, we got AR-15s, we got.
Right.
I mean, we got every military there. You know what I'm saying? Except for the Air Force.
Yeah, well,
Geez.
that's why I want to watch it. They're going to have the helicopters making sure, that the airspace and no foreign, enemy comes into the sky. This is going to be very, very tight security. I mean, this is going to be tight. You have the army there. Hello.
Well, the Black Hawks are going to be up there. So,
Oh.
yeah, they're going to have the Black Hawks up there.
They said, I was listening to it, they didn't say very much, but there's going to be only one way to get in and out there. Yeah. So anybody that's going to go to watch this parade, they're going to have very strict security for these people that are going in. And they said, if you go out and you come back, and you come back in, you're going to get scrutinized all over again.
There you get searched.
You're going to get this. You're going to get. I don't know what the heck they're going to do. I don't know. I've never been to anything like this, so I don't even know how they're going to check and double check what the hell, who these people are, because now you're talking the public, okay? Yeah. The public are going to, and you don't know who they are. So let me tell you, they're really going to be scrutinizing you guys that are going to plan on going to watch this. This is not going to be a joke. If these protesters think that in DC, especially, that they think they're going to be able to do what they did in LA, I think they've got another thing coming.
Yeah.
And President Trump's
the protesters right now, they got a rude awakening coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, President Trump has already said that the next move would be the Insurrection Act. So they know that. They know that if it gets out of hand in more places than not, that's what's going to happen. I think that's what's going to happen. I really do. I really do.
I think he's going to too myself.
It depends what happens on Saturday. It depends.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
How these people
I'm going to keep an eye on that. You know what I'm saying?
Are going to act. It depends on what they're going to do. We don't know. It could get out of hand like it did in LA and in Chicago. Chicago was bad too. I was watching that. So in New York, it was getting there too. So again, these are very big cities with probably a lot of illegals in them and a lot of Latinos in there. So
that's because a lot of these protesters, they support the legal aliens. That's why.
Exactly.
And they want them to stay. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And we don't want them to stay. We want them to get the hell out of here and don't come back.
Right. So when I was looking at their map on the website and I was looking at Massachusetts, and I saw in Boston that they don't have anything organized supposedly, but I'm thinking that they might not, because they're afraid, because there are illegals that live in Boston because it's a sanctuary city. I think they're afraid. Maybe they told them not to go to Boston because they're afraid of ICE being there and arresting the illegals. So it's a possibility. Boston is not that big of a city like LA and Chicago and New York. Yeah, so you can ICE can go and control these people, and if they're illegals, they're going to round them up, thinking that they might be, and they're going to. So Boston isn't as big as LA and Chicago and New York, where they can get away with these things, so to speak. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's so big. And because there's so many people
Yeah.
that it's hard to control.
Yeah.
It's possible. I find it hard to believe, but anything is possible. Who knows?
Yeah.
We're gonna just have to wait and see. It's
Yeah.
not that far away. I think the ceremony for Saturday starts pretty early. I think at like 7 o'clock in the morning, something like
Yeah.
that. I
The
believe.
ceremony. Yep.
Yeah, so it's gonna start early. I don't know when it's gonna finish. If it goes on all day, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know at this point. They're not saying very much. They're not.
No.
They can't. They can't. They can't. I mean, they can't tell people what their strategy is because if they know, they can use it against them. So,
Yep.
so they don't know. But if I was planning on going to DC and I was gonna protest, and it might turn into a riot, that is the last place I would want to be in.
Right. Look what happened up there on January 6th. Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
the army is there. Hello, I
Yeah.
don't know, but
I'm not.
people are stupid.
I mean,
People,
people are stupid. And
people are stupid.
I was planning on taking a trip one day to DC. So now I can't because these morons are there.
Well, I do too, but
These
right now
morons
is
are
not a
there.
good. It's not a good time right now.
No. No, it's not. You know what
I
I'm saying? I was
no.
planning on me and Linda one day. We were planning on,
Yeah.
going to DC. But you know what? No, I'm not going there because now with these morons are there. These
Yeah,
protesting
no,
for what? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean,
I mean, this is all, this upheaval and this change of
yeah.
administration and this law and order that people are not used to. Um,
Well,
yeah, this has to at some point. Look, it's either they're going to put up a fight, right? And they're going to demand, like they did in LA, what they want. And then you're going to have President Trump step in and do something about it. Or they're just going to go away quietly and self deport, which is, I think, what they should do. Because,
self-deport themselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's it.
yeah, they should just go because President Trump has said that if they leave on their own accord, they can get $1,000. So a lot of them have done that. They have self-deported, and I think that would be the best thing to do. But
I
again,
mean, yeah. I mean, I don't want to
you have
go up against the army. No, just leave
no.
self-deport.
I mean, the whole situation is because of the illegals. That's the problem here, and they know it, and they don't want to go. Some of them don't want to go. They're going to put up a fight like they did in LA. But again, like I said, 50% of the people that live in LA are Latinos, and a lot of them probably are illegals, but I don't
Yeah.
know the exact number. So they want to stay, obviously, right? They don't want to leave because now they have established themselves, all right, because of the Biden administration. And now you have President Trump and people that voted for him. You got to go. They're using our resources that we don't have, the money. We don't have it. We don't
No,
have
we
it.
don't have any resources at all. But
Well, look what's going on in Fall River in the fire department. Because
the fire department, yeah,
you have illegals in Fall River, and the money is going to them.
the money's going to Mayor Paul Coogan. We know that Mayor Paul Coogan is also supporting the illegals. So we
Of
all
course.
know that, and that's
If
why the fire department don't have any money,
Well, I mean, it could
right
be.
now.
It could be. It could be because the money is being redirected to the illegals and it's not going to the resources where the taxpayer lives and works,
Paint
and it's not
coming down
going
from
to what they need. Huh?
paint coming down. They have paint coming down from the ceilings. Okay, the paint, lead paint all over the place. The windows of the fire department is ready to fall out. Okay, the pipes all taped up. And
I gotta ask you a question,
go ahead,
Dave. I'm gonna ask you a question.
go ahead.
Even on Spindle Straight Talk, they never talk about the illegals. Why not?
Oh, they
Why not?
have, they have, they have, they have. If you listen to if you listen to some of their videos that they have up there, they have. Yeah, CJ
Because
and Chip had.
when I listen to them, they never talk about the illegals.
Oh no, they do. They did at
But
one
I
point.
don't. Okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think they talk about it enough. Because it's a problem. The
Yes.
illegals are a problem,
Yeah.
and the money is being used to house them and everything else that I mentioned before. That they're being taken care of while the city suffers. The people in it and the
Yeah.
resources that they need are not being met. So, do they know, CJ and Chip, do they know how much money is being spent on the
Oh,
illegals in Fall River?
oh, they do. And matter of fact, I think they showed. They sh- they showed. I think they showed the amount, but I don't know how much. How much? But I know that
Well,
they showed the amount.
this is what I'm saying you should know.
Yeah.
People should know how much money is being used every month to house them and everything else that they need. This is this is non-ending.
Nope.
It's not going to stop because Mara Healy is funding it.
Yeah.
Mayor Paul Coogan is funding it because I bet you anything Mara Healy is giving money to Fall River for the very reason to house these illegals. This is how it works.
Yep.
They're getting money.
And I agree with it too. I agree.
Fall River is getting money to house. That's why they were bused to Fall River because Paul Coogan said, yes, bring them here. And if you do, Mara Healy says, I will give you so much money. This is on
To
a
support
continuous
them.
basis. Now,
To support them.
I said before that in Marlboro, where the shelter is, it's not at full capacity.
Yeah.
But they bill the state, which is the taxpayer, at full capacity, which could be happening in Fall River. I don't
It
know.
is. Well, I'm going to say, it is. I mean,
What
it's
I'm
that.
saying is this.
Yeah.
This is my point.
Yeah.
Mara Healy gives Paul Coogan, let's just say $1 million. That's not enough, but let's just say $1 million for the
Just say
year
just three
for the
million.
illegals. Yeah, okay, but let's just say it's $1 million for the year for the illegals. Now, Paul Coogan can take that money and put them someplace where it might be cheaper so he doesn't have to use all of that 1
Yeah.
million. All right. So whatever he doesn't use, he can pocket or he can give it to his friends. He can give a $30,000 raise to somebody because he didn't use the money for the illegals, not all of it. This is what I'm saying. There's no accountability to this money. There's none.
Not at
Nobody knows.
all.
Okay. But how much money was allocated for Fall River for the illegals, and is all of it being used?
I think it was $3 million. I think I'm not sure.
But that's not enough because they're going to be there on a continuous basis. They're not going anywhere.
$3
Where are
million
they going to
for
go?
I think it's $3 million for the year.
Yeah, and then it's going to happen next year, and then it's the year after,
Yep.
another 3, another 4, another 5, and more money keeps going to the illegals, and more money keeps going to the illegals.
That's why the fire. That's why the fire department ain't getting an upgrade on their on their fire station because money like that is going to the illegal aliens, okay, to
Well,
support them, to house them, and everything else. They can get the hell out of here.
well, that's why President Trump is in office, right? Because we want him out because they're draining the system. And they're fighting it because now they're used to getting all that money, just like just like the illegals in Fall River.
Yeah.
The taxpayer is paying everything for them.
Yeah.
The transportation, their shelter, their food, their clothes, everything.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Everything. And if they're working under the table, most likely, because they don't have the proper documentation. And now they can get deported.
Yeah.
Will ICE go to Fall River? I don't know. But they
I hope ICE does to come to Fall River. I hope they do. So when you get these, you get these leeches out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but if they go, like if they go into Boston, that would be the best thing.
Yeah,
that would be the best thing because that's a city, and if they start deporting, which they have, and they need to do more of it, and they got to look into the businesses, that this will shut down that money flow going to the other cities and towns that Mara Healy is giving to everybody, because this is how it's working right now, because it's the same thing in Swampscott. This is how it's done. This is why housing is huge, because she wants to house these people on the taxpayer money. It doesn't stop. These people are taken care of while you have to worry about, I gotta go to work, I might get an e-bike, I don't want to go on the bus, I'm getting harassed. This is crazy.
Freaking mental.
Why are you being put out of the way for this?
It's well, an e-bike does, so that way I could, just ride around, electric bike, so I could just ride it to work. But I will be going on a bus with Linda, to places that.
But my point is that you have to change your lifestyle because of the environment that you live in, because of the environment that the voter put into. You got to worry about this. You're worried about safety. You're worried about crime. You're worried about the protesters. You're worried about going on the bus. Like, what the hell kind of a life is that?
I'm going to send you a private message, okay? So that way I don't have to.
But my point is that the illegals are being taken care of while the taxpayer is, their lives are just changing. It's changing before their eyes. Their community is changing. They're not getting what they need. They're just not getting it. It's a problem. This is a problem. This is like a big deal. This is a big deal.
Yep. Hold on, I'm going to send you a private message. Hold on.
Okay, we've been on for 3 hours. That's enough. Isn't it 9:00 over there? We always do this.
Holy Christ, man! Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be an hour. So it's 9:05. So
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end my show right here, and we'll continue this. We'll continue this conversation next Wednesday.
Yeah, because we're gonna see what happens on Saturday.
Yeah, I want to see what goes on.
I can't.
Hey,
I can't wait.
I can't wait either.
I can't wait.
But I actually, Anna, I cannot wait, to see what's going to go on. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
They're all mental retarded, anyways. They're all mental retarded.
They are, and I've dealt with them before because of BLM. Because they're mental too.
Oh, I dealt with them at Fairhaven too. So they're all mental retarded, anyways.
We know what this is all about.
The people in Bridgewater are a lot smarter than they are.
Let's hope. Let's see what goes on. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I can't.
Actually, though, I gotta watch the parade too because this is
Oh yeah,
gonna be interesting.
that's first on my list. I gotta watch that parade. I can't
Yep.
wait to see the army and the tanks and everything. Oh my god!
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
And
And
the
you know what?
gun.
That's what's gonna happen. And you know something though? And I'll bet you, I can almost guarantee they're gonna be stupid enough to start
Yeah.
something. When we got tanks,
Let's
over there
see.
and everything.
Yeah. I can't wait to see this.
It's gonna
I'm
be
just like,
interesting.
first of all, the parade is going to be great, but I can't wait to see if these protesters are going to do something dumb. I can't wait.
Oh, you know something? If they're dumb, they'll do something dumb.
Oh my! I'll be laughing if that happens. I will.
I'm gonna be laughing. I'm gonna be laughing. I'm gonna be laughing and crying at the same time.
Oh my gosh!
I'm
This is
telling
gonna
you,
be so like.
this is gonna be hilarious. I'm telling you.
This is gonna be a popcorn. Make sure you get your popcorn
Popcorn.
on your
Hey,
TV.
Oh, I have to season my popcorn to see this.
Get your popcorn ready at 7 o'clock in the morning. Have that for breakfast. Watch the army parade.
I'll be
Watch
like this.
President Trump. It's President Trump's birthday too, you know.
Oh well, hey, I just want to say happy birthday to President Donald Trump. Happy
Can you
birthday
believe that
to you,
his
sir.
birthday is the same day as that? That is wild, huh?
Yeah.
I think he's
So
gonna
happy
be
birthday to
70.
him.
I think he's gonna be 79.
He's 79. Yeah.
I
So
think
happy
so.
birthday! Happy birthday to President Donald
Yeah,
Trump.
I mean, what a birthday present. Let's have the army in the
protesters.
parade. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You'll never forget it. Nobody's gonna forget his 79th birthday. Oh my God.
79th birthday, man. That guy's almost 80 years old too, man. Wow.
I
And
know.
he's still the president of the United States, man.
Oh
And
my
he's still
God.
going.
He's still going. It's awesome. All right.
Well, happy birthday to my stepdaughter Brianna, because it's her birthday too as well. So happy birthday to her,
Oh.
and many more birthdays to come for her too as well. So Linda just put it up. Yeah. So
It's tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Happy birthday to my
Birthday.
stepdaughter Brianna.
How old is she?
She came out of Lebanon. She used to live in Lebanon. And
How
she
old
just
is she?
I don't even know. Linda didn't put it up there. I think she's about. Well, she's young, so she's, I believe, 30. She's around in the 30s somewhere. I met her one time.
I thought she was a kid.
Yeah, she was a baby. She was a baby.
She was a baby. I thought she was like 5 or 6. She's 30.
No.
She's in her 30s.
She's in her 30s. Yes, yeah, somewhere in her 30s.
Okay, well.
Oh wait, Linda said 31 years old, so she's 31 years
right.
old.
31.
So happy birthday to her. She's Lebanese. She's Lebanese. She speaks all kinds of language, which is good. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So yeah, she's nice. She's very, and she went to college in Lebanon. So she's very smart. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, she is. She's very smart.
Does she work?
Oh yeah, she works. Yeah,
Nice.
she works, and I can't, say where she works, but she works.
Yeah.
Her husband works too, so her husband works too.
Nice.
So
that's good.
And Linda has she has Linda has a granddaughter, which would be my part of my grandchild too as well. So
yeah. Okay, that's good.
But
this is gonna be a fun weekend for everybody. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun week.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, hopefully.
This is gonna be fun.
Hey, everyone, get out there, get the popcorn going. Make sure that the popcorn is fresh. Get out there and bring the drink. So,
Yes.
I don't drink beer, but just get the popcorn out there. Get something going out there. Cookouts and everything, hamburgers, hot dogs, because
that's right. It's Flag Day.
It's Flag Day, and it's going to be fun this weekend. So
That's right.
let's hope that
Celebrate Flag Day.
let's hope that the protesters don't do anything stupid with the 700 Marines and National Guard being there, because oh my God, and because they will get a rude awakening.
Let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. I told them good luck on my other live. I said, good luck Saturday.
All you morons out there that are going to go protest, let me tell you something. Good luck to you, man, because you're all going to get a rude awakening.
You're going to need it. You're going to need it. You're going to need it. All right. I'll talk to you later, Dave. Have a good night.
And we'll see. We'll talk about this again.
Oh yeah, we will.
On Wednesday at 6:00, same thing. Yeah. So I don't know what happened to Christopher, but whatever.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was supposed to come in.
Yeah, but he didn't. So I don't know if he wanted to hear all this nonsense. So
all right, okay.
All right. So,
talk to you later. Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.
Yep. You too.
Thanks.
Okay. Thanks.
Oh, I gotta leave. Okay, I'll leave first. Bye.
Yeah. Bye. So, anyways, I want to thank everybody. My wife Linda, Patrick, Coach, Scott Allen Donnelly, if he was watching. Thank you guys and Hunter for watching. Thanks everybody for watching, and just stay out there, stay safe, and just don't. Just stay safe because I want all my constituents out there to stay safe out there. And we're going to be talking about this. We're going to keep an eye out on the. We're going to keep an eye on the protest and everything, and monitor it and see where it goes from there. So take care, everybody. Have a great night. Stay safe, and like CJ and Chip would say, stay angry and hold your politicians accountable. Take care, everybody.